That's right. You hear me? Tell them, madman. Watch it. That's why. Drop it. Hey.
I'm lost and numb, cold to the touch. I pretend like I don't remember your name. Every masterpiece turns to blasphemy. When I close my eyes, yeah, I still see your face. We were the thunder and the lightning, burning fire started from a spark. I would spend you just to watch you twirl. It was us against the world. You were the rain falling on my skin. Yeah, I was dying when you pulled me in. I was your rebel and you were my girl. It was us against the world. Yeah, I'm pale gray, all dust and fade. When I call for you, all I hear back is pain. Every song must end, even diamonds fade. When the darkness comes, I count up my mistakes. We were the thunder and the lightning, burning fire that started from a spark. I would spend you just to watch you twirl. It was us against the world. You were the rain falling on my skin. Yeah, I was dying when you pulled me in. I was your rebel and you were my girl. It was us against the world. We were the thunder and the lightning.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to VGL Challenger Series Split number 2. My name is Blueberries. I'm very excited to welcome you to be your host for this first match day of Split number 2. And I'm, of course, not alone as usual, so I'm very happy to welcome Forecourt Jester and Dowsey for the entire split as it looks. Forecourt, my friend, how's it going over in Canada?
It's actually warming up really nicely, which just makes me just kind of very thankful that I stay inside and play video games all day. But, I mean, like we're starting to get into that springtime, you know? The shorts are coming out. We're starting to think about going outside, but not me, man. No, it's all vainglory for me, vainglory for life.
Absolutely. Awesome. Dowsey, we had the pleasure to meet up a couple of days ago in London. Here, the weather is good in London. I brought the sun over. Is it still there? And how are you?
It is, but I hear Scoundrel is scheduled to get into the UK tonight, which means that it will be...
He's already back.
Oh, he's back? Is he?
Yeah, that's why it's so terrible over there.
Well, yesterday was beautiful. The weekend was beautiful. I enjoyed prawn sandwiches out on the decking in the glorious sunshine. But I fear that now that Scoundrel's back in the UK, then it's all going to go away.
All right. Well, Ex-Scoundrel, our friend coming back. I think he was somewhere in the States doing some stuff there. So safe travels. Well, as he said, he arrived. So hopefully everything is cool. By the way, Ex-Scoundrel, you will see Ex-Scoundrel back here tomorrow. Since I won't be hosting VGL tomorrow, it will be Ex-Scoundrel. I'm very happy that he is back, of course. And we have split number 2. For those who are actually new to all of this, very, very quickly, talking about a split number 2 for you. So what is it? It is a double elimination tournament. We have 64 teams in this tournament, and we have now a 3-week schedule. It is a little bit more tight than split number 1. Split number 1 we had 4 weeks, was a little bit luxurious in terms of scheduling timing, but the teams will experience a little bit more matches in a shorter time this split. And what it is all about, of course, challenge battles. Talking about challenge battles very quickly about last weekend. If you missed them, you missed something. And what you did miss, quickly here on screen, the final standings from the challenge battles of this split number 1, which is right now over. We have Rising Lotus. They defended their spot. They had probably, it was the hardest matchup with Lemon and Lime picking them, and there are 8 points on the line. Make sure to rewatch that here on Twitch. Just go to the videos and you can check all of this there. Fluffy Chickens, they are winning over Denial Esports in a 3-2 victory. What a game. And that was absolutely incredible. I think they were winning 2-0 and then Denial came back 2-2. It was just breathtaking series. Mouse Sports staying in the Vainglory 8. The team where everyone thought they might drop out due to their performance in the Vainglory 8. Which was just not good, lacking of team play, all that kind of stuff. They stayed in a 3-0 sweep. So, wow, that was absolutely a great game. Really, really good games. And this clash, again, ladies and gentlemen, is going to happen on May 6th. And on May 6th, you have to mark your calendar, challenge battle time. Those matches are absolutely stunning. But back to VGL. This is happening for Justice versus Team Incredibles. We had a different matchup scheduled, TH and Envy, but it was not 100% sure if their opponent is about to come, so we took for Justice versus Incredibles. Very happy to have everyone set up in the lobby ready for the draft. I don't want to talk for too long, we're already a couple of minutes behind. Let's kick off the draft and to talk a little bit about the meta and what is going on in general. Yes. All right, there we go. Draft it is. Game number 1. We're playing a best of 3. in
Yes,
the
I hope so.
entire it's kind of already scared. Well, we changed it to a best of 7, but just for the first round. No, so we're playing a best of 3. Nothing changed. The grand finals will be best of 5. The usual procedure what we have here. We see a Lyra ban and a Fortress ban. Can talk a little bit about, you know, referring those bans to the challenge battles, but of course would love to have your impact here as well, gentlemen, on how you see those meta bans coming in. Lyra and Fortress, yep, I can see that. Adagio would be one of the first priority bans. However, we play here the single ban, which is in-game. Just as a side note, if you watched the past weekend and you thought, well, what is that? Yeah, this is a regular draft. We have the double draft system just for the challenge battles against the Vainglory 8 teams.
I was actually super excited to see how the Challenger Series teams would react to the double draft system, considering they've been playing all season on the single draft, but most of them have been scrimming with double draft only, so that they could get ready for it. But this draft kind of going the way you would expect a 2.3 draft to go. However, we do get some pretty interesting picks coming forward here. You can see the Finn and the Gwen on the B side. It's going to be an Adagio picked up here as well as the Lance, which means one of these guys is going into the jungle.
Well, it's very likely going to be the Lance at this point. I can't imagine that. Or sorry, it's going to be the Kestrel. Sorry, the Lance would be the captain. I can't imagine though it wouldn't be that. Like, not throw Lance on that captain role would be certainly interesting to say the least.
Absolutely. Before jumping into the fold right now, as we're loading already, quick information for Justice. I think we all know them. It's a team from Turkey. They have been around for a while. They are all Vainglorious. Team Incredibles, they are all POA. So just as a side note, not saying who is the underdog and who not, just keep that in the back of your heads. Also the viewers, see how both teams approach the game and basically everything. I'm really excited here to kick this off. We're now in the fold, the battle has begun, and so I'm handing it over to you two beautiful gentlemen, Forecourt Jester and Dowsey, with a kickoff of split number 2.
All right, here we go, guys. Spring just but he is going to get knocked straight back into consolidation. Here comes Ottomans trying to find the flank onto them, and actually Lampo's not in range, but he's going to rush forward with the boots. Can Infinity get away from this? Looks like the burn won't be enough to take down this glaive, so a kill going in favor of Team Incredibles. They maintain a bit of a kill lead.
Yeah, 2-1, but it was basically just the exchange from all that. And something just watching Owl here up in lane, yes, it is a 2-1 split more often than not for Justice. Team Incredibles has definitely done a lot more grouping, but Owl has been aggressive. Regardless if there's any kind of follow-up, it doesn't even matter if he's just alone. He is always jumping forward with that impale. And the first few of them didn't quite work out. That's how the first blood happened. But then all of a sudden, like, they just turn around, and with that follow-up there from Lampo, they're able to take down a Finn. Not something that you can really say that's easily done. But again, like, he moves forward. He's getting a lot of poke down. And I'm just not too sure if this is, like, meant for kills or if he's actually just looking to wear them down.
Yeah, no, I think it's hard to, you know, impale a Finn. Obviously, Finn counters the lance because of his passive. But, you know, I guess the consistent damage is also good. Maybe a bit harder now that the fountain. You see an engage gone wrong though for Infinity as he takes a huge chunk of damage in the process. Patrick definitely has a fountain there, so they could look to turn this with the fountain kill, but Ottomans is coming in, and now Chaser's gone for a deep root, is going to have to use his boots to escape, but all in all, it's great damage coming out of For Justice here, as Team Incredibles forced under their turret.
Alright, so For Justice defend, they're still pushing, still looking for those impales here with Owl Chaser, but Ottomans, you know, when he comes to lane, it's a very noticeable power difference. He's also level 7, highest in-game right now. That's just a big fact that he has been alone out in the jungle a lot more.
Yeah, and he's actually just gone and taken down Infinity. A bit of a fight over that treant there, and looks like For Justice going to be able to take that one away. They look at the Crystal Sentry as well. You know, good aggression from Team Incredibles. Don't get me wrong, they've definitely tried their best to try and dictate tempo, but as soon as For Justice got that alternating current on Ottomans, you could just see that they felt super confident in their ability to take fights, and now the gold has swung firmly in their favor.
Yeah, Lampo had himself that sorrow, but Ottomans now with that big damage item under his belt. Again, bigger shifts of power are going to be very observable here. And every time that Consolidation gets hit by these impales, every time Patrick, you know, gets hit by these impales, it's just kind of setting up for Justice. And Owl hasn't really been punished a lot. Like, a lot of this aggression, a lot of this overextension, at least, like, that's what it looks like at some points. I feel like that should be easily done, but, you know, Owl has actually done a good job so far.
Afterburn into the Ace's High, but Al, he's just gone straight back in on that Burst of Judgment. Looks like For Justice going to turn this fight around. Can they get the kills is the question. No, not quite. The damage to split across 3 targets, meaning they don't quite find a kill yet. Impale's landing, but no follow-up damage just yet from For Justice as they look to go over, get this treant, probably going to go over to Lampo so he can have a bit of energy to his name. And this gold miner being started up as it all happens. Great timing as well because Consolidation and Infinity have just gone back to base.
Alright, so immense gold payout, pretty free and clear right there as the Incredibles didn't quite get the scout off, but after the first item here from Consolidation, he has gone into a little bit of a counter for the Adagio. We have a Poison Shiv now ready to go on the Gwen, and we talked a little bit about the caster, we talked a lot about For Justice, but you know, Gwen has quietly been doing her last hit deal. It's not quite up to par with Lampo because again, has to deal with his Owl Chaser. Look at this, he just has no fear going into this.
Absolutely, just wants the kills, right? Hungry for the damage, and I'm surprised I don't see a tangible Sorrow Blade on this lance. You know, it's kind of what you expect when an Impale is being used every time it's off cooldown. Here comes a bit of a gank though. Infinity, perhaps caught out. Was in the time rush looking to come in. He's going to run into Ottomans here. There's an active camo. Will it get sniped, or are they just fighting in the lane? Ace's High misses. Infinity disengages against Ottomans. Full court. They're going to come straight into the lane here as Chaser just shows that he loves to dive in head first, but doesn't look like we're going to find a kill.
Ottoman's now up here as well, pushing, and Consolidation just has to consistently deal with this aggression, and that's really hit those last hits a good bit. And that's the one shot going through. Infinity's looking again here, Dowsy.
Absolutely, as Chase is on the wrong end or right end, Impale's come through, and that's a kill going on over to Lampo. Didn't look like he was going to get out there alive, but they just turn the aggression on. He goes deep once more, going to take one more turret and a potion pop just to make sure he has health. Will he go for a third Impale? Who knows? Infinity, though, losing all the jungle camps to Ottomans, as Ottomans just going to start up this Crystal Sentry all by themselves. Lampo got the turret, but is in trouble now as a good afterburn into the buckshot does a lot of damage. That's going to be him falling as the Crystal Sentry loses its second life, but, you know, the gold is clear. It's currently just For Justice running away.
Kind of abandoning Lampo to their fate at that point. I think For Justice is going to be okay with that, though, because they still did get a good amount of damage in return. They also got that Crystal Sentry, but if they don't come up back to this lane, Team Incredibles might be able to do a little bit of work here on top of this turret. And, well, who better to defend than Chizer, who's just been just super bloodthirsty today.
Yeah, just does not quit it, does he? He wants to go in and he wants to go as much damage as possible on this Lance. Currently looking to play a little bit aggressively into the jungle. He's actually behind Consolidation. Consolidation, though, not going to be spotted out just yet. Unfortunately, though, a lot of vision set up, and Chizer's not clearing it as he goes through the map. So, for the Team Incredibles, they do have at least the weariness that this Lance is on the roam, but currently, it kind of just feels like he's just trying to spot people out more than anything.
All right, so it's taken a while to come online. Infinity, though, while he has been doing a lot of early game afterburns, looking for kills, and it has been rewarded with 3, he just got that aftershock. I mean, he went into the Storm Crown, he went into some armor, now he has an aftershock. That's 11 minutes in, though. I mean, this is a fairly cheap build, and I think that goes to show just a little bit more of the difference in the gold between these guys right now.
They're just so much further ahead right now, the For Justice guys. And the next team fight could really display that, and it looks like Chizer wants an Impale. He goes in, roots up the glaive. Lampo is pretty far ahead, and it's actually the Lance who gets buffed up by Ottomans as the Adria of Wrath goes down. Good stuff as well, the Impale into Consolidation, but trying to find space is Infinity, trying to get this Kestrel off their Gwen. It's going to be the skedaddle, but an Impale lands. Ace is high, locks the Lance on the turret. They haven't found a kill yet, so they might just find one in a second. No, it's going to go wrong as the turret dives too much. A forced accord pulls them straight back in. Consolidation able to do the work, and it's going to be a clean ace going to Team Incredibles.
So, again, I'm just going to call it bloodthirsty. Bloodthirsty team here from For Justice. Sensing an advantage, they pushed forward, but other than really just Owl, they don't have any kind of CC. So they got kited, and I got to say that Patrick there came out really big with that fortified health. A lot of fortified health, just kind of chunking through and lessening the burden that Consolidation had to deal with, and that's why he lived through it so long. They get that turret on top of it, and now they're getting chased.
Yeah, they are getting chased. They do get a bit of gold back, but have they bit off more than they can chew is the question. Does look like it's just going to be space fought by Infinity, but it gets rooted up in the process. Fountain and Afterburn to buy space. Patrick may lose his life, and at this point I think Finn is okay with it as long as the rest of the team gets out. They're using the Crystal Sentry to try and fight, but Infinity has no life, and he goes down as well. Consolidation being chased. Reflex block not going to do anything but block the Atlas, but at this point Atlas wasn't going to do much. That's just going to be an ace coming on forward for Justice. It was just Incredibles biting up more than they could chew.
Alright, so here comes Lampo, here comes Ottomans, and they're going to be trying to take a celebratory turret. And it looks like they will be able to pick it up pretty easily, because here comes the ace buff wave on top of that. But yeah, there is something of a danger of getting a little bit too full of yourself. Getting that ace, that was huge for Incredibles, but staying just a little bit too long and now losing all that advantage, man.
It's a massive gold swing back over. Gold 5,000. They're fighting a bit of Sentry here, and actually it's going to be Team Incredibles looking to try and turn this around, but they lose both their jungle and carry. Ottomans can just chase from here, and Well, this Finn may not be stoppable, but he's certainly slowable. Good quibble, but that will be it. Ace comes forward at the 14-minute mark once more for Justice. They're going to take a gold miner as their victory.
Again, gotta really just kind of counsel caution, especially when you don't have all three right there. I mean, Infinity, he thought he saw something, he went in. We've already had the Crystal Sentry eliminated, and by the time like the full team fight was able to happen, he was already on the run. He was down low. Patrick was trying his best to protect two teammates, and then Consolidation stutter stepped like forwards in the fight, walked right into Owlchizer, Ottomans, and that's where a lot of that burning can really just get freely applied right there. So kind of strange positioning for that fight, but Incredibles, again, they took everything that they had just earned, and they've thrown it back out the window. Now they're kind of in a worse position than when they started.
Yeah, that's certainly true, but at the same time, you kind of would have expected with the skill difference between perhaps these two Challenger Series teams, we may have seen maybe a cleaner game from For Justice. The Incredibles certainly have shown their resilience in going down and their ability to turn fights if For Justice get a little bit too big for their boots. With the Kraken spawning though, this is when things should be able to go a little bit more smoothly for Justice as they have the tempo, as they have the control of the game. They're going to start up this Kraken, but Patrick with the flare, he's going to spot it out.
All right, so let's say the Kraken does happen here. We still have an infusion on top of Lampo. Ottomans is sitting on 3 item, and there's boots there for Lampo coming in as well. So he's like at 2.5 in mobility.
One shot onto Patrick. He goes very low. There's the burst of judgment, stunning out Infinity. And that's going to be him bursted. Consolidation does find one onto his opposite number, but can he get away from them? They're chasing him on down. There's no way Patrick gets in range for the fountain, trying to get close, but it just doesn't come through for him. Patrick now stuck in a 1 versus 2 with a big tanky Finn, but big tanky Finns for eventually. That's the ace coming through, and now for Justice should be able to take the crack.
So Infinity did not get any work done. Ottomans did pop the infusion on top of that. So again, like what I was trying to build up to before the fight actually happened is the power difference, right? We are sitting on, you know, like 2.5 items here from Consolidation, has those boots on top of it, and Lampo was able to match that out. But Lampo with the higher level, because he's level 12, he also had the higher level weapon infusion. Then of course Ottomans 3 items. Like, there's a very big difference when it comes to power. Infinity is a great kind of utility peeler, but when it comes to straight up damage, Lampo and Ottomans combined will just murder pretty much anything at this point. So it did kind of go as expected, I feel there. Dowsy for Justice, again, bringing 2 cannons to the fight rather than 1. And at the same time, again, the positioning once more. Like, Team Incredibles, they went forward, they went up, they went down, they went right, then they came back left, and they tried to meet up in the middle, and I don't know, it's just they're all over the place.
Yeah, no, and it's kind of expected here. This is the first game of the second split of the European Challenger Series, and you know, it means that the higher seeded teams are going against the lower seeded teams, and so you'd expect there to be a bit of a difference, especially in these first couple of rounds. But at the moment, it does look like For Justice will be able to close this one out. Kraken doing work, but the last hurrah comes out of Infinity to lose his life in the process. Consolidation trying to keep alive and fight into the active camo. Beautiful knock with the Giffians War. Stylish stuff coming out of Chaser, who's just been like a huge MVP for the team, and that's going to be game 1 going to For Justice.
Yeah, so bloodthirsty is the word I think that I would use here for Justice. Owl, who's just on cooldown using those impales, setting them up, and either he gets off great poke or, you know, he just kind of rinse repeats a little bit. He doesn't have to worry about energy problems. He has that fountain, so he's able to do really just kind of a lot of that rinse repeat harass, and that kind of just unbalanced the lane a good bit. Infinity did get some afterburns out early, but by late game, a weapon Kestrel. I mean, if you get in with that afterburn, she sees you coming, she just hits the active camo. You can't get the stun off. Instead, you're the one stunned up by that by the camo popping, and they kind of handled him very well. Those last 3 fights, he was not really a force to be reckoned with, Dowsy.
No, not at all. So that's game 1. Blueberries bringing you back in to break it down with us. Team Incredibles, they do actually look like they have a bit of a chance in this series, though.
Absolutely, Dowsy. I totally agree, and it was, I think, you know, this gameplay from For Justice is especially kind of dangerous. So we call it bloodthirsty, which is, I think, 110% right, to be honest. But the point behind all of this, of course, is if you continue this and you make like 2 or 3 of those mistakes, as we have seen, where they, you know, try to follow up, and then all of a sudden they dive the turret, they still follow up, they get a kill, and then the turnaround and the counter ace. So of course this can happen, and this can like cost you an entire game, if not the series. But for Justice, they have players, especially with Ottomans, who already participated in the Summer Live Championships 2016 in Berlin. So there is a ton of experience there, and I think you could see a little bit, of course, the difference between like a Vainglorious team and the POA team. Not saying that they have no chance per se. I mean, we're playing a best of 3. We have the draft system, so there are options open coming into game 2. For Court, what would you advise this incredible team to deal with for Justice, to make them a little bit like try to bait them a little bit more into those kind of situations, or try to just work on your own play style here?
It didn't really feel like it was like a draft issue. It just felt like a communication issue with these guys. They almost didn't seem to be on the same page, like when they're going in, when they're retreating, what direction they're retreating. There needs to be a little bit more cohesiveness with this one. Going forward, though, I think Finn is a fantastic pick for them because he can really play around that defense, but they got to communicate a little bit more because there's just so many times they split in different directions. They just kind of became easy for the pickoff.
All right. That being said, we are going into the draft here right now with Team Incredibles now on the left side. They are down 1-0 versus 4 Justice, and now we see a ban opening. We have seen a lot, especially in the double ban challenge battles, and in general I think both Adagio and Lyra are currently have a very high pick ban rate, but Lance is being picked again here, so his second presence in this best of 3 series.
And it's actually going over to Team Incredibles this time, so they steal that one away. We're going to see a Catherine locked in return, and currently this hover of the Alpha, such a strong hero in 2.3. With some of the changes to attack speed, she seems to have the ability coming up very often. Not entirely sure if it was 100% intended, but it's not my place to really talk about that. You know, that's just some of the rumblings that I hear from some of the, you know, underground of the pro scene.
There's a lot of tweets about it. Definitely a lot of tweets about it.
yeah, definitely tweets about it. But we're going to see a Ringo locked in instead, and, you know, Ringo has so many different build paths right now, which is the best thing about 2.3. With the attack speed changes, it kind of feels like you can almost go anything you want. You can live your fantasy.
What a world we live in, where now Ringo can just fulfill every nook and cranny right there, Mr. Dowsey. But with the Black Feather coming through, he's gonna have to stay on his toes. Like Ottomans, I don't even know if he's going to be the Catherine. I suspect it's not. I suspect that's going to be going over to Owl. I really hope, let me revise that it goes to Owl, because I do not want to see a carry Catherine. It just does not have the bang that it needs to. And no, it won't be. It will be actually this Taka to be flipped through. So there we go. On the flip side, though, I do think it will be the Lance. As long as Patrick keeps on top of this Lance, that will be your captain right there. But triple melee is something that Ringo has a lot of trouble dealing with.
It's very true. You have to position super carefully. Reflex blocks going to have to be crucial against the Lance, but then when the Impale is down and you've blocked the Impale, then an Afterburn is there as well. So this is a really cool team composition, I think, coming out of Team Incredibles to try and deal with the Ringo especially.
Well, totally agree. That looks good. We are here in game number 2. It can be the final game for 4 Justice, but we're playing double elimination. Always keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. If Team Incredibles might lose this game, it is not over for them. They will get knocked down into the loser bracket and continue at 8 p.m. CEST, which is in 90 minutes from now. Good luck and have fun, Dowsey and Forecourt.
Bit of an error there. Consolidation almost bought all of his items before he left the shop, but had to hightail it back over. Not the greatest of starts, but not game losing either, as both the teams just going to go to lane, go to jungle, and kind of just start as conventionally as possible.
For Justice not really opting to do a 3-man invade. Last time we saw them immediately just go for the treant, but this time they're more staying on their side of the fold. We actually do have Patrick in Infinity coming through, looking for Taka, and Taka by himself. Not gonna be too hard to deal with.
Yeah, no, especially because he doesn't have his B ability yet, just that
Don't chase him.
A ability, so it makes things harder for them for him to get away. He is going to have Al Chizer come down. They're stolen the back, so that's the most important thing. Level 2 versus level 1. There's the route that we needed. Can Infinity land a good afterburn to follow suit is the question. Does have it available, but is waiting and holding on. There it comes, and that's going to be Optimans falling down for First Blood. Team Incredibles. Aggressive plays, but rewarded.
Yeah, level 2 abuse, more or less, right there. Like Taka did not have his what do you call it, the fried chicken box?
House of Kamita, I think.
No, what do you call it? You call it something.
What do
else.
I call it? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's the chicken takeaway box.
Yeah, chicken
Chinese
takeaway box. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys always have
Stolen
different
pepper
worlds.
chicken, man.
Yeah, I know that it's not called that, but I was just trying to give you a reference, but I could not remember it off the top of my head, Dazzy. So that aside, Incredibles, yeah, level 2 abuse. We did not have really anything to deal with it there from Ottomans, and they will be rewarded with not a huge lead, but it's a message, right? It's a message. It says we can do this, we can come in here, we have the chain CC to do it, and we'll have to see if they can rinse repeat.
Absolutely, that's the main thing. They got First Blood, I believe, in the previous game, but now they need to do something with it, or else that is just going to be I guess these guys coming back into it. You know, they did it before for Justice, but they just kind of waited for their power spikes. Kaku's with the ability, I don't know, it slipped my mind for whatever reason. Or Stolen Pepper, Chinese box takeaway, as
I know
the
I know it's called.
community obviously knows it as.
Yeah, I know it's called.
Set me up for failure.
Yeah, well, don't worry, it goes both ways here. Looking at consolidation, speaking of failure, he is not doing very well in this lane. Like, at all. No, it's not a personal attack. It's just he has been late to the lane. He didn't really get any kind of big boost. Hasn't had any visits here from his teammates. And he is playing very passive in here as well. Like, anytime Lampo moves up, he just kind of has to sit there. He almost looks like he just AFKs, right? He is not willing to go anywhere near Owl and Lampo together.
Yeah, no, it's the struggle of a melee laner, especially the struggle of a melee laner who doesn't have his captain with him, whose captain isn't a healer as well. So there's just so many things that go against the Black Feather, especially in the early game, and you can kind of see that Team Incredibles are looking to abuse that range difference as much as possible, especially with a Catherine stun bot. Bit of aggression though in the jungle as Ottomans wants to get one back on stealing his doubles earlier. You can see Al Chizer's here to help on out. There's the stealth coming forward as Patrick is kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. They've already forced Infinity back, so it means that there's nothing really Team Incredibles can do about this. But they are responding in kind. Consolidation has made his way into the jungle of For Justice to try and steal as many camps as possible.
And he will get those backs pretty successfully. There you go. You can see now going to be booting out of this lane. Patrick, though, is dealing with a 2v1, but it looks like they give up the chase on that. And again, just, yes, Consolidation has to go to the back. Yes, that's actually the really good idea. But again, Lampo is getting bigger and bigger. Especially now we're past the 4-minute mark, right? We're going to be looking for that first item here sometime soon. But he's actually gone into 3 tier 2s first. He's not going to be rushing into a Sora Blade.
Yeah, no, going towards what looks to be a Bonesaw coming forward here. Perhaps, no, that would be a Poison Shiv for sure. So, or the Serpent's Mask, which makes more sense. So, it's really interesting with Poison Shiv becoming an item that is way more viable in patch 2.3. You kind of see some teams go a Serpent's Mask into Poison Shiv build or a Poison Shiv into Serpent's Mask build, going double lifesteal just so that they can, get so much sustain in these all-out brawls. And I wouldn't be surprised if Consolidation considers it even in this matchup, considering they're going into range and considering their triple melee. Sustain through fights is going to be huge for the Black Feather.
Consolidation is so intimidated by just his early game matchup. He's also into tier 2 armor at this point. That's a very early tier 2 armor. Usually you see tier 1 like now. You hit tier 1, maybe you get a shield, maybe you get no cart just for set up for that reflex block. But big items are just missing at this point in the game.
Yeah, certainly, and we're going to see a bit of fight here as here comes Taka coming on in. Ottomans dive straight on to Consolidation. Blood to the Black Feather, Rose offensive or defensive, depending on how you put it. That's a nice little turnaround onto Chiza, but it's not going to go far enough for Team Incredible. Al just able to charge straight back out. That's going to be just the fight stage. Oh, not! As Lampo able to find the kill onto Consolidation.
Yeah, did not realize that Chizer was there. Should have known, though, that Owl, the bloodthirsty support here of For Justice, has really just been, bread and butter. Just hit, hit, hit. He doesn't have cooldowns, man. He just has, the next moment of opportunity to hit you with something.
Yep. Yeah, that's and that's just how Al Chizer plays this roam position. Ultra aggressive. Makes the threat, 2-1 against you. Consolidation, especially in this game, seems to be struggling with it. Ottomans, though, a little bit deep, gonna go stealth, but a nice route into an afterburn. That's gonna be Ottomans taking huge damage. Hippian's war, can he escape is the question. Retsu into a fountain. Ottomans, teach me how to parkour. That was hardcore. That's gonna be him surviving.
Hardcore parkour. I get it. Yeah, no, it was really good. He was like a ping pong ball for a while there, just kind of this way, that way, up against the wall, and just nobody seemed to really, want to take care of him. They all just wanted to hit him. So, 1-1 will remain the score here, Dowsy. For Justice, not quite the lead that we saw developed last round, but again, Owl has just been continuously in lane, showing presence, and Consolidation is starting to slip farther and farther behind. This is giving Lampo a big opportunity to develop just pretty much free at this point. Like, we do have that Sorrow Blade. We're looking into, well, I mean, we could really go either way here for Lampo, but I mean, he has the attack speed built up. Could be a breaking point. We might see a Monaco. We might see a Tornado Trigger. We'll have to keep our eye on it.
I'm expecting the Tornado Trigger based on his current items here. All
Definitely.
the Ringos looking like a turret, though, certainly. Ottomans takes a huge chunk of damage. Infinity boots in. That's going to be Ottomans being aggressed onto by Infinity as Lampo looking for a kill onto Patrick. Will he find it? Yes, no. Fountain keeps him alive as Ottomans goes down. Lampo diving forward. Will find the kill, but that's going to be his life taken. This is the aggression from For Justice that has put them behind in other matches, and that's going to be an ace coming forward for Team Incredibles.
Yeah, all of a sudden Incredibles taking a little bit more of a chunk out of the gold between these guys. I mean, Lampo, again, like between the laners, a lot of the gold is sitting between those guys, but with a gold miner now about to drop here, Team Incredibles actually going to take lead. So that's a pretty good swing for them. It is not going to be a Tornado Trigger for Lampo, though. While he did dive deep looking for those kills, he does actually pick up the breaking point. This would definitely be more of a patch, though, for Tornado Trigger. Like, I'm really curious to see how many people today are going to be building into Pierce, for example, because that stuff got, like, that used to be the meta, then it kind of just dropped out of nowhere, and now perhaps, it could be the return of the Armor Pierce patch.
Right, just Bonesaw coming out. I think the problem with Bonesaw in this particular matchup is that because it's 3 melees, the ability to attack one of the melees consistently would be probably nil. You would have to start a step and attack whatever you can from range, and so Bonesaw may not be as effective. But certainly in other games against certain compositions, I can see Bonesaw being a priority pick, especially for the weapon power carries. You
might actually start seeing it here from Infinity, though. Infinity has the spear. He has the piercing spear. It's a big weapon, by the way. It's a double weapon comp. Didn't really touch on this much, but between Consolidation and Infinity, I'm not entirely too sure who's the actual carry on that one, because we don't have a lot of damage on Consolidation. It looks more like Infinity is going to be the big wallop.
Here goes, trying to find Lampo with the afterburn, but it's just Consolidation taking so much damage, and now Infinity struggling to sustain. Everyone on Team Incredibles are below 50%, and Ottoman senses it. Gonna dive on into Consolidation, trying to take the turret down. That will be the turret destroyed. Can they find a kill? Do they want to kill? Consolidation trying to boot back, and he will be able to get the recall. But maybe this is just a second turret chance. Yes, and that's 24 Justice looking for it as well. Patrick trying to do his best. There's the fountain to keep them all healthy, and 2 turrets for no kills coming out of For Justice as they just play the objective game.
If I ever needed to throw an afterburn on somebody, kind of going super wide and walking back to them is the biggest signal flare you ever need that there's a stun coming out. And Lampo saw that, hit the reflex button, and what did Infinity do? Immediately just started retreating. No attacks, no Bloodsong, nothing, right? He failed the afterburn. The plan went to shambles. We had Owlchizer in the front stunning people up. Ottoman started getting some of that damage off. He's a rinse-repeat utility build, but with that Aftershock and the cooldown reduction, yeah, he can really start wearing down targets. And the whole fight was literally just Team Incredibles walking all the way back to the second turret, and then they lost both of them because they're not putting up a fight. Like, as soon as this Afterburn's defeated, it looked like they themselves were defeated.
Yeah, and this is kind of the issue with the composition, is that it's all in or nothing with a triple melee composition. There's range and, you know, great gap closing ability on the side of For Justice that if Team Incredibles decide to commit to a fight, well, they better bloody commit to it, because they're going to, you know, get whittled down so easily by For Justice in the form of a, you know, a scaredy cat routine.
Well, they got to put up a better fight like that. Better fight than that. Like, previously, they had an ace. They had a kill. They had an ace. They got a gold miner. Things were looking up. But this is now just repeatedly. They take these advantages, and they unfortunately are not able to keep them. And that is certainly a roller coaster. If you have a profit chart, you know, you're at the bottom of it right now. Like, we had a good peak, but now they're into a deep valley, and with this gold miner going over to For Justice, that's just going to start plummeting even farther.
Certainly. Well, this is going to be the gold pretty much run away with 3 objectives in a very short short period of time here for Justice. That's going to be the 4,000 gold lead on the table now. Team Incredibles, all in or nothing. They have the ability to do so, but you mentioned it already. They are opted in for a double weapon powered triple melee composition, and here comes For Justice to try and punish it. First kill goes down without a hitch as Ottoman's looking for consolidation on Patrick. Patrick knocks Ottomans away, but Consolidation just about to escape over the wall with the Rose offensive. Just leaves Patrick by himself. He's going to attempt to roll through the wall, I'm sure, or impale over, but we see it happen so many times and fail. Will he be able to make it over? Yes, he does. That's great stuff coming from him. So only one casualty of the team, but just so much going to be taken away by For Justice.
There is just so much of a delay being entered right now. So Sentry goes down, a little bit more gold over to For Justice, but even with a push on top of that turret, which only brought it down to half, Team Incredibles have to, you know, do this trans-map cross-country kind of trek to get home. And, well, while they do it, they're not gaining really anything out of this. I mean, every now and then there's a death, every now and then there's a kill, but they're not gaining these objectives. Their gold has pretty much been staunched up. And we are so confident right now from For Justice that Owlchizer, after getting the Atlas from the fountain, has gone into an aftershock of his own. Like, again, bloodthirsty is the word I'm using here for Justice, because they are just 100%. This captain is kind of leading the way. But that's a double aftershock now for the crew, and triple melee with very little shield here on top of Incredibles. Like, they're kind of going to hit that wall here soon enough.
I'm so surprised that Lampo is opted in for a 4th damage item. He's going for a Bone Saw of himself instead of building armor against a double weapon power composition. That's confidence, I guess, in your ability not to take damage. We'll have to see if that affects anything as this game progresses, but there's very little armor on the side of For Justice, and we've mentioned it before. This is a double weapon power composition for the side of Team Incredibles. So there's certainly ways to counter that just in your itemization alone.
For a double weapon, and then Lampo, who's like basically a double weapon himself, there is actually an extreme minimal amount of armor. Like, Patrick went into a contraption after that fountain. He still doesn't even have an Atlas. We have an Atlas on Consolidation, but you know, Infinity just hit big item right now. 13. It was like the 1350 mark. He got 2nd offensive item. We are way behind where we need to be. Consolidation has his 2 offensives, but one of them's a Serpent's Mask. It doesn't really hit the mark. There's no double lifesteal on this one that you're talking about earlier here, Dowsy, either. And Incredibles are just lacking power. They're not going to be able to defend against this because they're building armor for Lampo, but it's double, it's the double crystal, and I just don't see this happening.
They try and come in for the steal, but they're all too late, and they're all split across the map. Consolidation goes down immediately to Lampo. Ottoman's going to find Patrick by the looks of things as well. Yeah. That just leaves Infinity in a base defense against a Kraken.
Not to gloss over the Kraken, because I was a little bit more tunnel visioning on my rant, but with the Kraken going down, and you just see the example there of the fight. So right, they come in, they look for the steal. There's not really any cohesiveness here for the team, and stunned up, you know, they're now going to be going down. There's just too many sources of damage for Incredibles to deal with. They're not doing any damage themselves, and they are not itemized really at all to deal with this.
This is looking like it will be series going to For Justice. The Kraken onto the final Vein Crystal turret here. Team Incredibles with their last attempt of defense as they look for a fight on to Lampo, trying to single him out, but Ottoman's just taking the base as it all happens, and Team Incredibles are letting it happen. That's going to be Lampo falling. Team Incredibles looking to find out Chaiza as well, but Ottoman will be looking to finish this game off. Double kill for Consolidation onto the board, trying to get his stats up, but this Kraken finishes the game. In fact, Ottoman gets the last order attack off. A 2-0 sweep for Justice. Man, for Justice, always getting me with that tongue twister or double repetitive word, but they are through to the next round.
I think it was Blueberries that told us it was all Vainglorious versus all POA, and ultimately it did play out like that. I feel like the decision making just wasn't there from Incredibles at all. For Justice, kind of just having fun with it, it almost seemed like.
Yeah, absolutely. So GG well played, first of all, For Justice here, taking the win in the first winner round of the Group A. It is which all matches should be close to an ending right now. And yeah, so that being said, they knock down Team Incredibles down to the loser bracket. This bracket is going to start in an hour from now, and we will hop on a very short break, maximum 10 minutes, to set up game number 2, which is already kind of prepared, as you can see. Let me quickly check this one. There we go. So at the top you can see Hateful versus Endless Journey. This is pre-planned. We will check with the teams. They should be standing by. And that being said, couple of minutes, check out the giveaway. Type an exclamation mark giveaway into the chat. There is also an Elgato HD60S which we're giving away. Very nice giveaway here to stream Vainglory from your phone, from your tablet, to record footage and all that kind of stuff. And of course the 9,000 eyes as usual. Check out the website for more details, and we will be back in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, I'm pale gray, all dust and fade. When I call for you, all I hear back is pain. Every song must end, even diamonds fade. When the darkness comes, I'll count up my mistakes. We were the thunder and the lightning, burning fire started from a spark. I would spend you just to watch you twirl. It was us against the world. You were the rain falling on my skin. Yeah, I was dying when you pulled me in. I was your rebel and you were my girl. It was us against the world. We were the thunder and the lightning. See your eyes in different faces. It's bugging me out. Sliding and get complacent. It's scaring me now. I can erase your lips. Still feel your fingertips on my skin. You come into my dreams. I wake up sweating here in my bed. 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 Bed. In my in my my bed. In my bed. In my bed. In my in my my bed. In my bed. In my bed. 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 See you smile on different faces. It's tripping me out. You ruined all the places where we went out. I can erase your lips. Still feel your fingertips on my skin. Yes, I can. You come into my dreams. I wake up sweating here in my bed. I can erase your lips. Still feel your fingertips on my skin. You come into my dreams. I wake up sweating here in my bed. 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 In my laying in my bed, oh yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, apologies for the delay. Welcome back to Vainglory League Challenger Series split number 2. We now made it to group number B, for still in the winner bracket in the first round of this tournament. We had to swap a little bit with the matchups. It appears that some teams, you know, they still are not that very organized. I just have to say it that way, unfortunately. But with the time, hopefully we can teach them. Make EU great again. This is the team playing right now here, as you can see, versus Parasite. I think there's a little typo in there. Is that the way you say it correctly, Forecourt?
Yep, Parasite.
Yep. Parasite. There we go. So those teams are playing. Whereas Make EU Great Again is, I think, a pure German team if I look at the players. It's acceptable name, Make EU Great Again. Everything else would be not that good. So they face Parasite, the team. I don't know. I didn't check the skill tiers, all that kind of stuff. I don't have that kind of in-depth information right now, but all I know is that Kigaza, who is a player of them, it's his birthday, I think. So congratulations, happy birthday. This is your game right now here. And that being said, no further big talk needed. Let's jump into this game, ladies and gentlemen, and see what those two teams are going to draft.
So there was a little bit of confusion earlier when you told us the name, because I thought you were telling us to make EU great again as Carsters. But you know, we'll do our best, Tomek, don't you worry. It's going to be Alpha and Lance paired away immediately.
I love it.
As Fortress locked in.
Yeah, more Fortress kind of attention here in the picks and the bans. Vox is going to be the first one of the day here for us, as Parasite here onto the right is going to be picking that one up. But no attention to Adagio, no attention to Lyra. Will that come through here the last few?
Yeah, it's very surprising. In fact, as you say, Parasites, they lock in Vox Arden almost immediately, meaning that they feel very confident in their ability to play a certain composition, and that's what they want. But, you know, Lyra is available, and she is the premier healer, if not the best healer, over Adagio. You know, there's some discussion on to who's the best in what kind of composition, but yeah, no, very interesting stuff.
All right. So yeah, I'm would like to discuss this topic throughout the broadcast a little bit more. You know, when you think Adagio makes more sense over Lyra and vice versa. Very excited to get some input there from you as well, Dowsy. So let's see, Black Feather, Fortress, and Adagio. Fortress, we talked a little bit about that one. Now they finished here the composition from Parasite as well. We talked a little bit about Fortress throughout the challenge battles. You know, that he's like present in this meta Fortress, that his, you know, skill, that his kit is not, you know, that hard to master, makes him really difficult to face, you know, as an opponent team. So I'm really excited to see how this composition is going to turn out. And on the other side, we saw that Sky was being picked up as the last hero here, together with Arden and Vox. Very interesting composition. Excited to get a little bit of insight from you gentlemen, what you like about those compositions each. And that being said, it is game number 2, Group B, still the first round, day 1, split 2. Take it away.
Game number 2. Number 1.
Oh, excuse me, series number 1. Game. This is,
okay, series.
Yeah.
So this is game number 1. Cool.
Right. Thank you.
Game.
That's
And
right. All right.
So that's just kind of the state of the game right now, Desi.
It is. It's It's going to be Storm Crown picked up here for Kigaza. It's 6 minutes in and currently a fairly decent lead to Parasite. We've just been talking forecourt about, you know, the effectiveness of CP Sky into kind of melee carries. Currently, you can see Make EU Great Again attempting to find damage, but as soon as Dennis gets into lane, they do that again. They're just going to get torn right through.
And 5-2, again, just a lot of history kind of said that Parasite will take a lot of these fights. We need to get some of these level 6s online. Zeleno kind of the only one still lacking it here on the side of Making You Great Again. But once we get this Gauntlet and Vox, once both of those are online, we're set up a nice pressure cooker kind of situation. Not only with the Gauntlet for the possible stun, but Dennis going to be bringing, you know, that death from above. And then David has a silence on top of that.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential there for Parasite. I questioned their team composition in the draft a little bit because I didn't feel like they had really considered all the things, but now I'm seeing it in action. Actually, Parasite, they've really thought about what they want to do here. The inslaught of the Vox in Arden, well, perhaps against the Fortress, maybe they kind of understood that it would be an all-in composition already from Make EU Great Again, but certainly it seems like they have full understanding of how the fights are going to break down, and if they continue to play them to their win conditions, then I don't see a reason that Parasite loses this game.
It kind of depends on how the rest goes, for sure.
It's going to be another fight as the death from above, stopping everyone from going in. Kigaza trying to find a kill, but they've lost the Sky too far forward. And this is a good start here for Making You Great Again. That's kind of their win condition. Get Sky down and then find David straight after, and on point going to do so. The ace looking like he'll come forward. 5 seconds to secure it, and secure it they will. That is great team fighting coming out of Make EU Great Again, and perhaps poor death from above placement really from Dennis.
So there's a few things that kind of came together right there for Making You Great Again. The first is that Dennis, yeah, he definitely got zerked down, but his death from above was very defensive. It was also kind of like at a perpendicular angle instead of a nice parallel through the little choke, so it didn't hit anybody. And then from there, they were able to juggle out that forward barrage very easily. Kigaza did come down low, that's for sure, but he built up into double shield, so he was kind of that perfect front line.
Nice fight coming out here. Morte dives in. Zeleno and Kigaza are a little bit far behind, but he just ate up Dennis, the assassin on this Black Feather, just going ham. They're looking to find Ray and David as well. On point hits both. Fountain slows them down, or heals them up, sorry. Dennis might be able to get away. No, he doesn't. David, in fact, and that's just going to be another ace coming forward. If that continues to happen, War Teddy and Ray Kigaza are able to take Dennis out of the fight immediately, then Make You Great Again are going to have great success.
Dennis is definitely falling into a little bit more of a trap of his own. Perhaps, again, just like what we saw with game number 1, once you start getting those advantages, you're not invincible, right? You have to still kind of go forward with caution, especially up against a comp that really does come online at level 6. I mean, War Teddy hits level 6, all of a sudden he's this force to be reckoned with, right? He can get into the back line, he gets the damage done, and he actually survives, which is huge because Zeleno there with the fountain, with that crucible on top of things. Remember, there's a gauntlet, there's a stun, there's a mute, right? Everything did not work out, everything there is countered by that crucible, right? And then Kigaza with this Dragon Blood and this burst. His comp is online. It's that quick utility, nice and cheap, but the cooldowns are insane for this guy. So if Dennis doesn't kind of get on board, get behind Ray, if they can't find these stuns in the CC, like there's very little defensive, you know, built up at this point. Look at Dennis, look at David, right? There is no armor, very little shield. Actually, well, I mean, the reflex block doesn't count as shield yet, but at the same time, there's very little for these guys to play around with.
Here they come again, straight onto Dennis, and Dennis trying to dance around his death from above, but he gets chewed up. David, meanwhile, is struggling against War Teddy, and the on-point hits Ray for a clean ace. This is the Adagio that when Blueberries asked, what did I think of the team compositions? I kind of liked it just for this fact. You buff up War Teddy, your auto attacks obviously slow the enemy as the Adagio, and this is kind of where Adagio works so much better than Lyra for a melee composition, and make EU Great Again and just executing perfectly ever since they got their ultimates.
Black Feather is definitely making EU great again right now. Level 9 there with Kigaza, but 6 and 2. These guys might have gotten bullied about early on, but they have started really tanking up, and that is, again, something that we need to impart to the crew here at Parasite. Their early damage was great, but so far, it's the Mega coming out great again.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And now we'll have to see where Mega go from here. They're looking for another fight. They're looking to get onto Dennis once more. Can they burst down this guy? Death from above. Gauntlet's going to stuck down some, but David, he's lost his life, and Dennis, he's not long for this world either. Fountain trying to heal him up, but it doesn't work out, and just leaves Ray all by himself to try and defend a base against 3 monsters of a team, currently just eating away at this choke point turret. The gold, 9,000 in their favor as we speak, and a great start for Parasite, just hasn't found success since.
It's funny how, like, in the beginning, it's just like, well, I mean, Dennis is really showing really good things with Sky. Like, if they keep playing as they are, they're not going to lose. And then all of a sudden, they've lost every single fight, and now they've lost every single objective in their lane. The gold miner was popped. They've lost 3 turrets, 9,000 gold, you called it? I mean, we're going to be looking at 10 here soon enough, because this Crystal Sentry likely not to live. We got wolves coming out every 45 seconds here from Kigaza. That is a lot of free scouting there as well, and I mean, gold miner to go through here on top of things, it's a very slow noose right now over top of Parasite.
So let's just ignore team compositions for a second, because I think there's a couple things we can mention about, you know, kind of the way that Parasite could be playing the game to avoid some of these all-ins. They haven't upgraded to War Treads, only just done so now on Ray, but you look at the boots as well, it's been tier 1s up until this 12-minute mark, and now finally David with the Traveler's boots there. So movement speed, a big thing. You disengage the wolves, then you take them out, then you look to try and re-engage with a Death from above, or perhaps a wait for it, or perhaps even the forward barrage whilst you're, you know, kiting back. I really want to see Parasite change the way they're playing the game, get a bit more vision down, because if Mega are continuously able to just dive on in like they have been doing so far, then these fights are not going to go well. Ray caught out, David trying to do his best with the wait for it, but now he's just going to get aggressed on. There's the golden sword going to save him, but now here comes Dennis to try and turn things around with the forward barrage, but he's just eating up wolves. They don't take damage, you need to auto attack those, and there it is, finally gets it taken down. The wolves really make a huge difference against Dennis's ability to forward barrage whilst cutting backwards.
Yeah, Crystal Sky does suffer this issue. If you can't hit anything in that straight line, or if you're hitting all the flak, all the spam, all the interference of the little minions or the wolves or like pedal minions, jungle monsters, right there, you're just not doing the damage that you need to. And you said it back a little bit early on, right? You know, go into the Crystal Box, go into the Weapon Sky. At least your single target capabilities go way up in that regard. But you know, so far it is still a very blue Dennis at this point. No defensives. And just a little bit of more energy regen here for Dennis, but oh man, it is just like Sky has not had a good few matches, let me tell you.
No, it's been hard times, and we actually see the East Asia build coming out, like I want to call it the Serpent Mask breaking point for Vox. It's been popularized over in Asia, in the Southeastern East Asia regions.
But like, is that solo queue or is that competitive level?
Well, it's solo queue because we haven't had competitive 2.3 much really. The idea is that in melee fights he sustains a little bit better, and I kind of see it. So, but
when you're by yourself with strangers, not communicating, right? Yeah, absolutely.
Sure, we're gonna see another fight break out, and this time Parasite, they're split on all ends. Dennis getting chased on down. David just about to escape, but unfortunately for Dennis, he will not have the same fate. And it looks like Ray may go down as well. David tries to save Ray and loses his life in the process. Ridiculous scenes here for Mega as they're looking to try and make EU great again once more. Vein Crystal turrets in their way to make this country, this region, this continent the best of all places. And believe me, I tell you, we have the best places here. Yeah, country, why not? We're just gonna go with it. Go with the flow, forecourt. I see you over there in Canada smirking at us Europeans, but we are going to take the game. Series 1 goes to us Europeans as we make EU great again.
And again, like, Parasite had a good start, but unfortunately, once level 6 came on, they did not itemize really enough defense for this. I mean, it's very much an all-in comp. It's a rinse, repeat, burst comp, right? You have Blackfeather go in, you have the Fortress and the Wolves, he jumps in, and they target down somebody. And again, like, the Dragon Blood contract, I think, really was a great addition to that because it amplified that percentage damage. It amplified the bleeds. It amplified just the way that Make EU Great Again was able to engage and get those single target kills, but the only damage negation here was from Ray, and that was an Atlas Pauldron, and well, that's not going to mean much up against Kigaza, for example, and there's very little armor on anywhere else. I don't know, like, I don't think their early game really belied their mid game at all, and they needed to swap up tactics.
Well, most likely can't disagree. It was a very aggressive gameplay from Make EU Great Again. I would almost say they follow up some other strategies related to other topics, but they are on the way to make EU great again. And that being said, we are right now swapping the teams and then get this second draft going as soon as possible. So yeah, talking a little bit not about the composition, about the playstyle here. Of course, we are also, as a side note, we are in the very early stages of the tournament, and that also means, of course, that very higher ranked teams face lower seeded or ranked teams in those early stage of the tournament, and so sometimes it is more likely to see a little bit of one-sided games like 2-0 sweeps or that kind of stuff. So coming into game number 2 of this game, Dalsy, do you think EU is going to continue, follow their path, making it great again, or do you think the Parasite can, make its way to do Parasite things?
It's possible. I think that win conditions need to be met from Parasite. They need to perhaps think about their composition draft a little bit more. And then once they've done that, like it's not a bad draft from them. Perhaps the Sky isn't as powerful as some of the other heroes in their meta. Lyra was available for first rotation and they picked Arden. So there's a couple of things there, but to me it kind of came down to play style and item purchases, map vision. I don't think a superior draft would have necessarily won them the game.
Well, all right, that is a statement, and with that we're going to start the draft in Parasite. They are going to ban away that Black Feather, with which was, of course, a problem, omnipresent problem on the side of Make You Great Again. They are banning the Fortress, so both heroes won't be at all on the fold, and especially not on the composition of Make You Great Again.
That's going to be the bands out, lands coming forward here for Ray, most likely from Parasite. We'll have to see what this rotation coming out of Mega is. They have a lot of opinions. Heroes available. Oh wow.
Might have opinions too.
Oh wow. Yeah, okay. You leave Adagio and Lyra open, so you pick them both.
Can't heal if there's no healers available.
This is where, and now, right, this is what we need. We need a Tucker, we need a weapon carry laner that can build poison shiv.
Alpha.
Almost.
Alpha can still go Shiv, you can go weapon Alpha.
Yeah, sure, that's true. I hope not.
You just sound so very dismissive of it. It's like, yeah, sure, yeah, no.
You're not wrong. It's not gonna happen, but you're not wrong.
Idris, nah, let's go with Baron. Baron's good at this. Baron has the range, Baron has the AoE, Baron has the late game cannon,
Baron can build poison shiv.
He'll just straight up murder them with 100% crit, man. That's all you need.
I haven't seen Baron in 2.3 yet, so this is going to be very interesting.
Stutter step EOP.
Love it.
That's going to be an interesting one.
Is this going to be a weapon power Dagio CP Taka or a weapon power Taka CP Dagio?
Probably a weapon Taka at this point.
I don't know, man.
War Teddy was the laner. War Teddy has the Adagio here.
Yes, that does make sense. So, yeah, it is going to be weapon power. Cool. Very strange draft, and it's like we get all the healers, and then we get the mortal wounds as well. So.
Could be kind of, the game number 5 draft of the challenge battles we had this weekend. It was also pretty strange. But hey, guys, I'm really excited for that, for those out of the meta picks and compositions. Nothing against them. We are on the fault right now with game number 2 between Parasite and Make EU Great Again. Let's see if they continue. Good luck, have fun. Dowsy and Four-Core Jester.
So this is week 1.
Again, likely going to be a weapon here. Zeleno, you can see him following here. Kigaza is going to be that captain of War Teddy in lane with the crystal. Already has a crystal bit. I really don't think you'll ever see a weapon Adagio at this level or higher, but yeah, you never know. But at the same time, Ray with the crystal, and this is going to be David here into lane with that weapon Baron, and that leaves Dennis trying to figure out where he wants to go captain for now.
Yeah, and look at this, actually, we do have the Taka locked down a little bit as Kigaza is going to try and make his way out of the jungle here, but we haven't quite found it just yet. Kigaza dipping and diving. Can he escape? Probably not. There's the Impale to secure the fate. First blood goes their way. Parasite able to find one for themselves.
Yeah, and it's very, like, last time it was actually making you great again, just trying to jump forward. They had this really nice all-in comp, and they were able to really push up against Parasite. So getting a first blood this round is kind of nice for them. They didn't get the gold on top of Ray, went on to Dennis instead, but again, they were just kind of going to accelerate his farm a little bit, so we might see a bit of an earlier fountain from him. But Ray not going to be trying to press the point. He's just going to be doing his own rotation, and I think you really kind of do need to temper a little bit there with the Alpha. She does have the infinite reboot, but at the same time, if you overextend, you could find yourself in trouble.
And she's super strong this patch. After the attack speed adjustments, found herself just skyrocketing in win rate this patch. So really, really strong pickup here by Ray. Of course, you know, they've swapped positions, Ray and Dennis going into that roamer position, but we'll have to see if Parasite can keep the pressure up. You know, they already got themselves first blood onto Dennis, like you mentioned. Let's see where else they can take it, essentially.
Dennis, no Iron Guard. There's no Iron Guard contract here for the support this round. Dennis actually does have a weapon blade to start off. And usually when I see a weapon blade, I expect him to be in the jungle more, like supporting the jungler a little bit, because in lane, you're not really going to be using that weapon blade much.
No, we'll poke a tiny bit. You know, David, I guess, also has, like, fairly good range and kind of sit in these turrets range and CS for the days. So it's kind of great ability to do so. Kigaza, though, looking for a snipe on to Ray. Will he go for this question?
I think he is. He waited way too long for that.
Here he goes, looking for Ray, but the cooldowns have been reset in a second for Ray, and the damage on this Alpha is just coming out huge. Ray following up Key, about to get his jump available, but here comes Dennis to kill. No,
Whoa.
doesn't. Oh, there it is. Secures the kill.
2-0 for
2-0
Dennis.
for Parasite. 2-0 for Dennis.
I mean, again, like I don't hate it, but I would absolutely be kind of annoyed that my jungler was not able to get the last hits on that. But still, kill secured, right? And that was just a very strange kind of sequence of events there for Kigaza. It looks like he set up that ambush and he was ready and he saw it and he should have moved. He didn't. So I'm hoping that everything's okay with him over there. I'm going to keep an eye on his movements, but that was definitely like much delayed kind of reaction, much more than I would have expected.
Strong start for Parasite, and they have a fairly strong ability in the late game to dish out damage with the Baron and allow the Alpha to play nuisance. We'll have to see if they can continue this kind of arcing track that they're on right now towards a late game. There's still so many minutes left before we hit there. So many opportunities for Mega to really start upsetting things. But David, he's just kind of felt very safe in lane. Finally, we're going to see Kigaza make his way over. See Dennis trying to give his war proactively. It's like, okay, maybe there's a Tucker here. But in the end, David's safe as always, and nothing really comes about it.
how has the lane gone? 46 here to David. At the same time, War Teddy 49. So definitely going back and forth. We did start off early shield for David. He knew that he was going to be going up against Adagio. Doesn't want to suffer too much from the poke. But we don't exactly have that first item yet for David. I think he's actually only like 30 off. By the time he gets down to the shop, he should have Sorrow Blade, which will match Teddy because he just picked up the alternating currents. The lane seems to be going swimmingly. It's just the jungle issues for Make EU great again so far.
Yeah, no, that is just it. And even then, is it? For Make EU great again, it certainly is jungle issues. Kigaz are attempting to find kills onto an Alpha, but Alpha's a duelist, right? She's able to do what she wants. Yep. Taka with Tension Bow coming forward. I want to see those YouTube clips flying, but Kigaza gonna get caught out once more. Impale doesn't connect El Leno there for the heals.
Okay.
Moving forward. Now War Teddy tries to buff himself. Ray has this Termination Protocol, gonna boot it up. There's the dive on in. First onto Z Leno. Does get a kill, but he's rooted. Looks like Z Leno might be able to escape. One more auto attack will do the trick coming from David, who will be able to take them down. 4-0 now for Parasite as the gold lead swings to 1,000.
A nice sequence of events for Parasite, especially since they were able to catch Kigaza real early. But at the same time, Kigaza almost like refused to hit his buttons. Again, I don't know if this was an issue on his side or not, but like during a lot of that, he could have easily dodged some of the damage. He could have extra off to the gold miner. There's a lot of counterplay I feel available that he just did not execute. So going down like a sack of potatoes, no problem for Parasite, picking up the double kill at the end of it. Again, it was a nice sequence of events, but Kigaza just no fear here, which is strange.
Very strange. War Teddy taking a little bit of trouble as well, but will end up falling to David, who has 3 kills at 6 minutes. It's a fairly good start for Baron. Sorrow Blade got himself a Blazing Salvo. Kigaza going to dive on to David. Dennis is there, looking to try and knock Kigaza against the turret, but good usage of the A ability will prevent him from falling to that CC. And no kills coming out of it. Currently, Parasite continuing their ability to stay alive.
And the Parasite early game is still just working out real well for them. This Taka just not really getting a lot of work done. Like the Tension Bow, yes, it did get buffed. Yes, you're likely to see more and more of it as the patch goes through. The 12% armor pierce, 45 weapon power. Like that's not bad for a first item, but picking it up at the 5-minute mark felt real late. And now Kigaza, like at the same time, what's he going to do for the second item? Is he going to go into actual some kind of base weapon power? Is this going to be just now kind of utility, or are we going to just really rely on the double heals to wear down the opponents? Like, where is Kigaza going to go from here?
Not entirely sure, but we'll see him dive on in. David's ready. David's ready to go for the fight. Can he get in is the question. No, as everyone just decides to disengage. And Mega, they're trying to do the best, aren't they? They're trying to find engagements onto the Parasite guys, but Ray, he's been fairly consistent so far. Maybe not found kills, kind of have a bit more of a captain's scoreline with the 0-0-5, but at the same time, there's no complaining. You're at 8 minutes, your Baron seems to be storming into the lead, and you can just continue farming up.
When it comes to the last hits, David's actually still behind, but he's sitting on a full 2 items at the same time as Teddy's almost 1.5. I mean, he's looking for that broken myth. He's not quite there. 8 minutes, 9 minutes. Like, this is about when you would expect to see it. And his gold, as long as he doesn't die at this point, it should actually hit him sometime before the 10 or so. We'll see the 2 item there ready for him. So Dennis and David just kind of doing real good work there by themselves. Ray and Kigaza, though, again, Kigaza goes aggressive.
Yep, it's going to be a fight. Everyone's ready for it. Kigaza going low, but it's David who's going to lose his life first as Kigaza gets out. Ray's looking for the kill. Can he get on top of Kigaza? No! He bursts himself down and he's going to fall. It's a great fight for Make EU Great Again. Only Dennis left alive for the Parasite sides. Dennis will be spawning in just 0 seconds. There he is. So no ace potential, but Kigaza certainly looking for the kill.
Ooh, the
as everyone dives over the wall. Kigaza, one more auto attack will find it. That will be 3 kills for none going Mega's way.
So all of a sudden, like, Mega gets 3 kills. We've just turned everything on its head. And what happened there? Kigaza, I'm not sure he was caught or if he was the one that actually aggressed, but these were way better movements than anything he's done this game. Like, he was able to dip, dodge, duck, he serpentine. He didn't drop. He was able to get off his entire energy bar of damage, and then we had the double heals behind it, just healing him up every time, empowering his auto attacks from the Adagio, keeping him mobile with Lino. That by itself, like, they do more of that. This game's a 2-0. Like, this was a 180 on everything I've seen out of Kigaza's Taka just right here.
Absolutely, and it was just better team coordination. Mega, you know, the call was made by someone, we're fighting now, and they all came to the middle of the map to do so, just putting those hills down, able to make it work for themselves. David, though, he's got himself that coin. Kigaza's going to find him. Keeping his ball against the wall, but Zileno's hot in pursuit. There's the engage on to Dennis, but it's David they want. They're trying to get him down. Has Rocket League available. Ray is here as well. Misses the prime directive, and Dave may lose his life. Fountain ticking. Kigaza going low, but he does end up going down. Too deep under the turret, and everyone turns. Now Parasite looks to take down War Teddy with them. War Teddy able to find one before he drops. He says, if I'm going, you're coming with me. David leaves Zileno left alive to run away, survive to avoid an ace bubble.
Yeah, this should be more than enough to survive. Yeah, Lino is going to live through it all. A little bit greedy there from Kigaza, and again, like, very almost like accidental engages coming out of him, but a little bit more damage. He might be able to take down David pretty easy peasy. David might want to actually think about some armor, but no, it's going to be all red for him. Just going to try to continue to rely on the team to buffer everything. It's Dennis that picks up the Atlas Pauldrons, and the Atlas Pauldrons up against Kigaza will definitely curb down a lot of that damage since he's not a crystal-based Taka. He is that more steady weapon, but we're still very much waiting for Kigaza to pick up a second damage item at this point.
Yep, and has the ability to do so very shortly. It looks like a breaking point is going to be purchased based on the items currently in his inventory. Currently just scouting out for vision around the center of the map. We'll head on over to the shop to finish a poison shiv.
Just kidding.
Coming forward. Yeah. Just kidding, right? Why not?
So it does feel like this is sort of what we were expecting to see on the other side, right? You have this melee jungler with a shiv because you got all this damage on the other side, but no, it's going to be tension bow into shiv. All right, weapon lifesteal, fine, attack speed, cool, weapon power, but I don't know, it just feels like the build is not quite there. It feels like it's missing a Sora Blade.
I kind of would have liked to have seen like a CP Taka, a weapon power Idris in the lane, a poison shift build up for Parasite, and you just have so many ways to cut down the healing on the other side. Perhaps triple melee would have been a bad call, you know, when you don't have a fortress to support you. But yeah, right now looks like Mega have a fairly you know, good confidence in themselves to hold the map together. They're coming back into the lane since Parasite are pushing in. David has the 3 weapon powered damage point, but Zileno goes aggressive straight on in with the right bulwark, and David is in trouble. Kigaza chasing on down. Fountain comes forward though. Heals are halved, but he will find the trade for himself. War Teddy trying to find Ray. Oh. There's going to be a burst of judgment straight on in, locks him out and gets the distance between him. War Teddy, nice plays with the burst of judgment. Can they get him out before? No, the prime directive, sorry, the reboot does come forward, but Dennis is going to lose his life by the looks of things. Bright forward to try and keep him in place, but they don't want to dive the turret. It's a 1-for-1 in the end, a very close 1-for-1. May still go their way as, oops, by mistake, Dennis takes a missile to the face. That will be a 2-for-1 in the end.
And it's going to be a turret on top of it because I just don't think Ray, I mean, Infinite Reboot's already down. He's really going to go for this?
It's David. He was relying to dive forward, but David's like, nah, bro, that's not happening. I guess the turret survived. Maybe turret, keeping the turret alive is worth for one death, but, you know, he staggered the recalls, and actually Goldmine are going to be started up as a result, and War Teddy has yet to show if he is feeling confident. Looks like with the heals from Lyra, may just feel a little bit confident, but no, David clears those waves too quickly.
Well, not that Kigaza needs any help on top of this gold payout, but, you know, this is the time to get the gold payout. You know, 14.5 in, Kraken will awaken here soon enough. You see Kigaza just 100% focused on top of David, right? He engages, he finds David, he stays on top of him, and that's where this poison chip is needing to come in, right? We throw down the heal from Dennis with that fountain, and they just want to blow him up. That's all they want to do.
Already in trouble here, but Kigaza goes in onto David. David gonna dive into a portal. Whoops a days under the turret. One more turret, and he will fall down. That's gonna be the kill going to Leno. Ray in trouble as well. Does find a single kill. Looks like Kigaza may lose his life. Trying to hide up, go invisible, but no, not gonna happen. Ray does get the reboot. Kigaza looks for the ace onto Dennis. Abilities coming up, but can he get there? Doesn't look like it. Energy bar too low. That's gonna be 2 kills for Nil. Going once more Mega's way. They're looking for a turret here and to steal away the jungle.
So that should have been an ace, like 100% should have been an ace, but Kigaza just could not get that X-Retsu going. But still, so Mega, I think, are just going to take the game from here. Like, I absolutely believe that with this pressure on top of David, only now getting into armor, like, they haven't realized that Kigaza just stand on top of David. Even if they trade it out, the double heals will win the sustain war. 100%. It's 3 fights now, rinse repeat. They've been doing this, and if David gets caught again here, especially in a bright bulwark, that's just the team fight out.
That's him going down. Goodbye, David. Here comes Ray though. Could clean things up with some sexy out the play. First kill goes his way, but can he get any more for himself? The heal's coming out for Mega. Ray looking for a second, but he gets popped down into his reboot before a termination protocol. Reboot comes forward, a second kill there. And Leno, forced to run away, has the portal available as well, so there should be no reason for Leno to die against Ray. But Parasite, sensing desperation, decide not to start up the Kraken. Too risky, and will just instead take a trio.
So Mega, again, like, they stood on top of David, right? 100% focused. David not with his team, gets bursted down. And again, a big thing is that Zeleno, when he portals forward and he has that bright board, you can't jump jets out of that. Like, David becomes that sitting duck. He's into the tier 2 armor, which will go a long way for him. But that fight, since it was a fight after a fight with a Kraken in the middle of all of that, we just didn't have the sustain ready to go from Mega that round. They didn't have the energy. They kind of did really overextend looking for that kill. It was kind of a boon that Ray didn't even explode, but even without his termination protocol right there, they weren't able to win the fight simply because energy levels were just too low at that point.
Where I wonder if we get a house in charges come forward for Kigaza just to try and negate some of these energy issues that he's facing in the fights. I'll have to see if that does come out, but you know, Mega, they have brought themselves back into this game. They've got the gold lead for themselves. Objective lead is certainly theirs as well. Can they take it any further? This Baron is going down a quad damage build. You know, it's going to be the Breaking Point, the Sorrow Blade, Monocles. Do we go Tyrant's Tornado Trigger? I think that's probably like the best build, considering the new patch, but maybe we go double Monocles. And of course, that means a lot of damage coming out of Parasite if they can keep David alive.
If Mega get a good engage, especially on top of Dennis, or top of David, I think it's still over.
There it is. Good stuff. David gets out. They have to turn around. They have to get out and see Leno losing his life. Ray, though, not able to find a prime directive. Would have gone very low if he did. And there's the heals coming forward. Parasite have to be careful. Mega have this double heal composition. They can disengage a fight and just look for it again. And Ray, well, he's only going to heal so much from this Treant. Here comes Kigaza going on in, and they're looking for Ray, trying to get him down, but it's David, the main target, the man that you need, and he's doing work. Fountain may do enough to keep Ki alive, but here comes David looking for a kill. And the kill he'll get, that's going to be Ray diving forward as David looks to find War Teddy. It's going to be an ace coming forward as the kill goes over for Parasite. They're going to get themselves a Kraken, and where can they take it?
Guess I'm gonna have to eat crow on that one there, Doubtzy, because that was just so poor from Mega right there. 2-man explode from Ray. On top of that, David and that armor finally starting to show a little bit of promise, right? He does not go down like a ton of bricks. He actually is able to survive long enough, and once you're that far deep, you can't run away. Double heroes or no, like Zeleno and War Teddy, like, you're that deep, you gotta fight it out. David is fully online after this with 2,000 gold there in the bank. Like, that's going to be, well, probably infusion for now, but at the same time, he's going to be full build here in the next few moments.
Yeah, we'll have to see what he does go. There's the Tyrants. Not quite enough for the... Nope, does have enough for the Infusion as well. So full build for David. If the crits weren't high enough already, well, they certainly will be in just a second. Parasite looking to equalize the series here, 1-for-1. They just need to take down the Bane Crystal.
I wonder if Kigaz has finally just fallen off.
We'll have to see. Here's the final fight. David taking so much damage. No heals available. Never mind. You focus David. He goes down and Ray doesn't get a termination protocol. Will he get locked up? No, the burst not able to land. But Kigaz is certainly looking to chase down, and there's no heals available because of the mortal wounds. That's going to be a 2-for-none. And Dennis, well, he's stuck between a rock and a Taka as Kigaz are going to find the double kill. That's going to be an ace. The Kraken at least finds the choke point turret, but that's all it's going to find. The problem in the last team fight for Mega was they didn't focus David. They tried to blow up Ray despite being an alpha. I think if they focus David every time, like you mentioned, well, his healing is just not going to come through.
I'm very undecided now. I've seen fantastic stuff from both teams. I am just... It's almost like a Game of Thrones, kind of. Like going back and forth. It's just such good plays from one side into such good plays from the other side. As you said, David, he got focused down. Finally, War Teddy bringing his damage to bear there with Kigaz. That was enough with the mortal wounds to say no deal. And then Ray didn't hit anybody with the ult that time. Like that was a big damage out of the window on that one. So Crystal Alpha, yeah, you have some pretty steady damage, but if you can't hit those ults either, I mean, you're putting what, 1,000 damage on the table there.
Yeah, there's so many ways for both teams to take a fight, I guess, but like you mentioned, the art of the throw coming out for his right now kind of feels like Humanist has been writing a book, and it's currently being studied by both these teams, perhaps maybe too hard. We'll have to see though. A lot of tension, I guess, on the line. One fight could pretty much just determine the game at this point, 22 minutes in. Mega going to find themselves Crystal Sentry. Ray getting in position for an engage. Will he go for his question?
Bait?
Bait. The alpha
That's
bait. Oh, they're going around the back. Going to push the lane in. I thought they were looking for David.
Well, I think Kigaza was actually looking for David, because David has actually been caught in that area multiple times this round.
Root taking a lot of damage as Parasite tries to start this one up. You guys are trying to get over the wall onto David and call him out once more. Can he follow up the damage is the question. He's going under the turret. Nice root. Impale comes forward. That's going to be Keygaza losing his life. No, he's alive. The heals too much. And that's going to be David down, and Keygaza still kicking as Dennis trying to roll away. Ray managing to get a recall left alone, but 2-0 once more. Mega able to get the kills, and really it's just Keygaza dishing out the deeps.
I can't believe I'm about to say this, but David sold his armor.
Does he feel that the burn from Adagio, because War Teddy like puts the heal on to Keygaza and then Keygaza burns?
I couldn't tell you, Towsy.
Because there's got to be a way behind it. There's got to be
the strategy, I think, is very clear. Keygaza is a weapon Taka that's going to jump your face again and again and again. Sells the armor that he was building.
He's getting a Crucible.
No. David might be getting an Aegis. He's definitely not getting a Crucible.
Sorry, yeah, Aegis, yeah. But that could be it. Perhaps that's it. David's like, but then why not just get a Reflex bar? I don't know. There's a lot of things that that could be said, but what will be said, Kraken unleashed, and now Mega looking to take the series 2-0.
See, unless you have the money to straight up replace the tier 2 armor with an Aegis, you're going to be super vulnerable right here. And like, if Keygaza gets on top of David again, there's going to be hell to pay.
Yeah, he's right on the back line, taking a lot of damage, but the heals will come forward. Fountain keeps David alive for now as Mega focus back onto this turret to help the Kraken through into the base. They can just sit tight for a second, heal up if they want, but Keygaza says, nope, I'm going in. Ray looking for the Prime Directive, but Bite Bulwark comes forward and stops it from coming in. David now by himself, can he sustain through it? Crits are going out, but Kigaza's just got the tankiness to stand. First turret goes down, they need one more before that Vein Crystal becomes exposed, and that's Ray in the reboot sequence. He goes down in the process. David trying to get onto the fountain. Kigaza's still alive, can you believe it? But will finally lose his life. What will Mega do here? Are they going to hard commit? Yes, they are. They're hard committing for the victory. No, War Teddy can't get to the Vein Crystal. First going to go out. It blows up one! Oh my goodness! The Crystal Sentry may be able to keep the game alive. Dennis trying to take the Kraken down, but he needs to stop. Leno! Kraken gets the final sweep down! And that will be Mega taking a 2-0 over Parasite.
What a game, man. I gotta really question myself as an analyst sometimes. I could have sworn, I saw these advantages, and then out the window with them. Okay, well, maybe this team's finally back into it. Nope, they throw it. It's so... Oh, what a roller coaster, though, Dazzy. But, I mean, I do feel that armor, that kinetic shield at the end there from David, like, the reason he was living is that, Mega Kigaza just kind of started becoming less and less powerful as time goes on. He eventually got into the third item. But then, like, as soon as War Teddy wipes face with him, he just sells armor into the kinetic, and then War Teddy almost never touches him again. Like, I don't know, man. It's just so back and forth.
You know someone who might know? Blueberry sitting in the corner. Like, that was a confusing game, I think.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
To say it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, first of all, I thought, it's going into a third series. It's going to be like a full third game and exciting. I mean, of course it was exciting, but to like a different outcome, and no one would ever I think expected this game happening exactly like this after watching the first 10 minutes. But well, we are playing Vainglory, and we just got taught another lesson. Everything is possible. So GG, make EU great again, advancing here to day 2, which will be played tomorrow, the winner bracket round 2. And Parasite, they have to play in an hour in the loser bracket. If you're interested to see all the brackets, which are huge, check out vaingloryleague.com. There you can click on tournaments, and then make sure to click on split number 2. It says Challenger Series split 2. So yeah, we got a giveaway going on, some ice also on the website, and yeah, let's we will go on a short break to settle ourselves after such an interesting matchup. Go on a break around about 10 minutes it will be, and then we have one more series to show, hopefully before calling it a day. Don't go anywhere, we will be back in a bit.
See your eyes in different faces. It's bugging me out. Starting to get complacent. It's scaring me now. I can erase your lips. Still feel your fingertips on my skin. You come into my dreams. I wake up sweating here in my bed. 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 In my See you smile on different faces. It's tripping me out. You ruined all the places where we went out. I can erase your lips. Still feel your fingertips on my skin. Yes, I can. You come into my dreams. I wake up sweating here in my bed. I can erase your lips. Still feel your fingertips on my skin. You come into my dreams. I wake up sweating here in my bed. In my bed. In my bed. In my bed. In my
Hello and welcome back to the Challenger series. We have the third featured game of the night. Maybe you heard a little bit of an from Forecourt. What was it?
Oh, no. Don't worry about it, man. We were just lamenting a Taka video that Dowsy seems to
All
love.
right.
Have you not heard the Taka with tension music video?
Well,
I didn't until now.
It's the best thing, man.
All right.
Best thing.
Probably we should take a look at that later on. But first, we got a new game coming up, the last series of the night. Pharaoh occurs versus Avia Challenger. Both teams are in the loser bracket, so they are already facing the end of the tournament. They're standing on the edge. We are about to enter the draft in a second from now. And yeah, so the loser will be eliminated. The winner will continue within the loser bracket, of course. So that is the way We play double elimination. I like double elimination because you have to, as the name says, be or get eliminated twice to be eliminated from the whole tournament. Single elimination, you lose one series, one best of 3, and boop, you're out. But we have seen great outcomes from the double elimination format, and this is why we roll for it. Again, there is also very positive feedback from the community, so let's do this. Jump into the draft. Pharaoh or Curse versus Avia Challenger. It is here for this game. Both teams lost in Group A. Right now, all matches should be in-game for Group A loser bracket, and Group B loser brackets are going to kick off at 9 p.m, which is around about 45 minutes starting from now. The bans, no big news coming here so far. We got a Fortress, we got an Adagio, Lyra immediately being picked up, no double heal comp allowance from the side of Avia Challenger by going for the lands, and of course the Adagio ban beforehand.
This is quite interesting. You know, whenever Lyra is taken, lands is pretty much picked up as a counter, and because you know Fortress and Adagio tend to be your priority bans in 2.3. I have to see Glaive. Okay, so that could will most likely be a CP Glaive in the jungle. Currently being hovered though is this Grumpjaw. Now I don't know if you watched the challenge battles over in North America for Cord, but Grumpjaw was a hero. We won't see him right now. That was just kind of like, oh my goodness, CP damage and goodbye carries. Like they were bursting in half a second.
Well, all right. I'm not entirely too sure that Thad's going to catch on widespread, but if it works, it works. I'm still going to have to wait for some personal proof here, but with the Lyra goes into the alpha, we also got that Vox there as well. So if this is going to be a Ringo, then I think it's a pretty cut and clear role assignment.
Yeah, no, it's pretty much everyone going where you expect them to be.
Heroes.
But wise, I really like the draft coming out of Pharaoh Curse. I think they've probably got more available to them. You know, the great thing about Vox is he's hyper mobile, so he can kind of get away from those impales, get away from those afterburn, or at least position himself on the right side of an afterburn, so he doesn't get knocked into a precarious position. Whereas actually the Ringo from Capsex is going to be potentially struggling to get into a position where they're safe.
Just like what we saw last round, keep your eye on the alpha. It was the Taka last guy making the plays. This time though, I bet alpha there, Blueberry.
Well, alpha, I certainly like alpha. So that being said, my heart goes to the side of Pharaoh or Curse. However, Avia Challenger looking very solid with the composition here. I'm really excited. It is a loser bracket game. This means both teams face elimination. Dowsy and Forecourt Jester, have fun.
Thank you very much. Best of 3 series here, guys, to round off the games today, I believe, on the broadcast. As Blueberry's already mentioned, both these teams lost in round 1, which means they now face elimination from the European Challenger Series here in Split 2 in their first day. Would be a sad affair, but unfortunately, someone's got to go, and we'll have to find out which one of these 2 teams it will be.
It always sucks that somebody has to fight, you know, in elimination. This bracket of alternate success is, you know, something of an easier way to put it. But yeah, if you lose, you're done, and that's going to be your entire Split career right there. And it sucks, but somebody has to win. It's not a Care Bear tournament. You don't get participation medals. So yeah, if you lose, you're done. Goodbye.
A lot of damage as well. Straight up to Caps. They roamed up the Lyra. Queen PH comes straight on in to just support out here Alpha Rox, and you can see the damage onto Caps. He's already popped a potion, burning on forward, but they pulled out a bolts, looking for an engage onto and Impale comes through as well, but there's the Imperial Sigil just healing up all the way through. And now it is just going to be Admiral coming in. Really nothing to come of that for Avia Challenger.
Ooh, if they only knew that Queen was up in that bush, would have been a guaranteed kill right there. But at the same time, a lot of damage did come out of Avia right there. So, it will be keeping these guys from Pharaoh's Curse a little bit more on the back foot. You can see, though, Queen really enjoying that bush up there.
Yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense for Queen as well. Very safe positioning, forces the lane to come to them. It also forces the glaive to reveal himself before coming into the lane, so it makes things a little bit harder for him to gank in. So the positioning from Queen, it's just trying to dominate the lane more than anything. So we'll have to see if really bolts can have much of an impact, or Krasix either on this lands, but not expecting too much early on from either of these guys. We got that early gank, but that's pretty much it.
Alpharock's not really getting the last hits that he wants, I feel. With this big wave coming in, Caps actually has a good opportunity to take lead if he doesn't get poked down too much. Not too much Krasix can do about this, but if you recall game 1 of the first series we did today, we had For Justice with that Lance, and he just went again and again and again, real aggressive, so maybe we should take a bit more of a note out of that here for Krasix.
Yeah, very potentially, definitely put the pressure onto the opposing laner continuously. You can see everyone's kind of grouped up in the lane for a bit of a skirmish. You can see that pulls the trigger. There's a bit of damage on the Admiral as he baits out with the recall, but he's going in. Will he get popped? Yeah, he does. Okay. Too much of a bait. Recall bait coming forward, and he's going to lose his life. 2 caps. And they're looking for the return. There's the bounces coming out of the box. One more? No, not quite enough. That is just going to be first blood going the way of Avia Challenger.
And Queen will actually be able to keep the rest of these guys off this lane for a while. Yeah, it takes a turret hit for her trouble, but at the same time, yeah, all right, first blood. I'm not entirely confident that Admiral thought that was going to happen. I think he's actually even a little bit more surprised than we are when it comes down to the fact that he did go down this early on, and it was him that went down, right? It wasn't anybody else. So you can see the crystal starting to add up here for Admiral as he's back in his jungle. Is going to be looking for that aftershock, at least I hope. It will be that aftershock here fairly soon. Alpharock's coming back into lane. A little bit of tier 1 armor with 3 red. And Queen coming back out here as well. Should be able to pick up the rest of that fountain here sometime soon, as the jungle has now intensified here, Dazzy.
It certainly has, and we haven't really seen much of a fight over the Elder Treant. Everyone's kind of just made their way over and secured it without too much trouble. I believe it was actually it's Bolts who's got the most of the Elder Treant, and you can kind of see it. He's got himself the Storm Crown nice and early before the aftershock from Admiral has come forward. So there is a fairly sizable power advantage, I guess, here for Avia Challenger, and then looking to try and make the most of it. Admiral coming up to lane, though. Prime Directive will not connect.
Yeah, kind of needed that engage tool right there, especially since he has that aftershock ready to go. If he can land that Prime Directive on 2 targets, for example, I mean, that goes a long way for some of this damage. So either way, I mean, they're going to survive. We're just going to rebuff. Very passive game. We've seen some bloodthirsty stuff here early on. No real early invades, a few ganks here and there, but pretty much everything just slow and steady. We're looking for the 1 to 2 item power spikes. It feels like that's going to be the timing, because that's when we're going to start seeing some level 6s pop, and then things might get lit from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Admiral on the aftershock, that's when we're really looking for it, but he's just going to get popped once more. Will he be able to get in? He does get the Prime Directive, but he's just losing his life. Second death. Alpharock's trying to lay down damage, but this box just doesn't have it yet, and able to dodge away from the hail will mean that he's safe for now. But really, Pharaoh, they're trying to do damage without having damage built, and well, you can kind of see where it's going.
Yeah, we need that. We need to go get that Sorrow Blade. Alpharox has the cash. He's gonna get that Sorrow, no problem. But again, Admiral just really going against the grain of I feel the flow right now. He's the one that's always poking forward. He's trying to rely on that infinite rebit, perhaps to look for a bait, right? But it's not happening like that. He's just going straight down. And Caps, he's gonna be getting that Sorrow Blade here as well. You got to be on notice, especially 0-2 as an alpha this early on.
Certainly, aftershock is completed. Sizable damage, but is it too late? Will you be able to find the kills is the question. Caps got himself a reflex block nice and early to try and, I guess, block some of the incoming damage that could come out of Admiral, the burst there. Interesting prioritization considering there's no like hard CC to block, but I guess to wait for it there as well, you don't want to really be silenced up. Alpharox is taking a bit of damage. He has himself the Sorrow Blade to match Caps, but at the moment, haven't really seen anything from Pharaoh just yet. Need to see a little bit more.
All right, so Wave's going to be pushing in. Admiral's in position, has level 7. Alpharox and Queen still not quite level 6, but neither is Caps or Krasix either. So again, I really do feel like we're just going to be waiting around a little bit. Well, every time I say that, Admiral just goes forward. So we'll have to see if that's going to happen. He has a good opportunity here.
Yep, we'll see if he can do so. Looking for an engage.
We're just strutting.
Also there, like this is the thing, baits out the bright bulwark just by walking up towards Alpharox, and that's a fairly sizable cooldown. Gonna be down for another 10 seconds at least, but I say that Avia Challenger, they're not looking for an engage.
No, and they've actually never really been looking for it. Like a few field ganks here and there, but every kill's defensive.
Oh wow. Oh wow, look at the roots, look at the CC. Admiral goes low, Termination Protocol won't connect to anyone, and they can just take whoever they want here. There's the engage onto Alpharox. Scoot Gippion's wall knocks Admiral as well. Caps finds his third kill, and Queen, can he sustain? No. Fours as well. That's just 4-0 as currently Avia Challenger styling all over Pharaoh's Curse. Looking for Admiral here, who dies back on top of Caps, but he's just a bait, bro. And Pharaoh's Curse gonna get aced. Ooh, not quite. We did get the respawn from Alpharox, but still a 3 for nothing, and they might even just get the turret for it.
I don't think Box can hold this. I really don't. Okay, so he's not. Fire. Okay, turret down. 3 kills, 5-0. Avia definitely doing well, but every fight has been on their territory. Every fight has been on their grounds. It's always past this midpoint, and it just feels like Pharaoh Curse are not really on the same page with each other. Like Admiral has consistently pushed forward, looked for things that are not there, or has engaged just blindly. It feels like Alpharox and Queen, like their positioning in that last team fight as well. They were very clumped on the front line, and Queen almost got insta-popped. Like Alpharox got out skin of his teeth, but then he stuck around, and it's a cooldown glaive. Like he's just able to close that distance, get the second kill. Might have been robbed an ace, but Admiral again went back in, low health, no infinite reboot, no backup. It's very strange kind of communication and decision making, I feel.
You know, I guess both these teams have come off a loss, so they're kind of even in that sense, but we won't talk about it just yet. It's Bolts, dives straight in, gets the kill. There's the passive just coming out as the death goes forward, so Lyra won't be following that one through. And, you know, losses can affect teams in different ways, forecourt. You know, I make this point often that a team in a series has to have strong mentality, especially when they're playing multiple series in a day, that they have to kind of put the loss behind them and move into the next game. It kind of feels like Avia Challenger, you know, they have reset here a little bit, but Pharaoh's Curse, if they feel like they're playing with like a black cloud over their head, pouring rain.
And mentality is something that in any kind of competition you got to be strong, right? Doesn't matter if you're playing Magic Gathering, you know, playing cards. Doesn't matter if you're at the Olympics. Doesn't matter if you're here in the VG8 or the Challenger Series, right? You have to maintain strong mentality through and through, especially on an elimination match. It's even doubly so that you just don't let the tilt, don't let the salt get to you. You gotta rinse, repeat. You gotta just recenter yourself, and that's something that some players definitely have trouble with.
Yep. Currently seeing another engage come out of Kha'Zix here. Queen the target. There's the double root. Admiral going to take a lot of damage as is Queen. Admiral looking for the re-engage, but Alpharox knocked against the wall. Wait for it goes out and Caps. He has been separated, but Admiral was forced to try and keep Alpharox alive, and it's not going to happen. It's Bolt will find the kill. Looking for more as well as the fountain to heal up the glaive. Queen, the Hellfire Brew, the root, and the stun. That's going to be Queen falling down. It's only Admiral left alive. Caps with the reflex block to try and keep alive. Can he get away from the Termination Protocol? Yes! The Impale comes forward just in time from Kha'Zix, and that will be another 3 kills going over to them. Once more and not an ace. Alpharox did respawn in the nick of time, but 9-0 at this point. 6,000 golds in the lead, and Pharaoh's Curse just struggling.
I'm not entirely too sure what Evrox actually used his reflex on, but as soon as it was down, that's when Krasix came in and was able to get off that Atlas. Like, weapon, Vox, highly depends upon that attack speed. You got to get those stacks with the breaking point. You have way more damage output with the resonance when you're attacking faster, and getting hit by that Atlas was almost just a done deal for him. And then Admiral just kind of shows up when everybody else is dead. I didn't exactly get to see what he was running around doing, but at the end, into a 3v1, he seemed fairly healthy, had all his cooldowns ready to go, but just late to the party. So
Well,
that
he
is now
basically
9-0.
comes out of the fight, but wasn't able to stick to the Ringo. So because of that, the damage output from Admiral, who was there throughout the whole fight, just wasn't nearly enough to have too much of an impact. Now it's Admiral locked down as there's the afterburn, Alpharox against the wall. Admiral's going to be left to his devices with Caps, but you see immediately Kha'Zix comes in for the support. It's Bolt's easily able to deal with Alpharox. Admiral going nowhere either. Good usage of the...
Hey, Queen.
Yeah, Queen's like, hey, I'm here. Goodbye.
Late to the party, man. Just I don't know. It just feels like it's an execution issue. It feels like it's a communication issue. We don't have all the ducks in a row, and if Caps actually gets this solo kill on top of Queen, that's just like rubbing salt in the wound.
It's not looking good. Yeah, especially for Pharaoh's curse here. 11-0, a very clean game so far. 6,000, even 7,000 gold in the lead for Avia Challenger. As they look to purchase up once more, you can see a infusion on Kha'Zix coming out very shortly. Caps, he's got the breaking point, heading towards a Bonesaw actually, by the looks of things, for his third item on Ringo. And you know, it's just damage all around right now. They're so far ahead. Alpharox doesn't even have his third damage item built yet, and he's had to go into defensive tree before he's really even got into the damage tree.
Breaking point, Bonesaw. Once you get into that 8 stacks, you're hitting for 48% pierce, and by the time you get basically 8 stacks on top of the Bonesaw, your breaking point counts as a Sorrow Blade on top of things. So yeah, it's really nice synergistic kind of build there from Caps. As long as he can avoid getting hit by the Atlas, it's something he didn't do in the last fight, he'll be all right. And the good news is there's only one Atlas to deal with, and that's Admiral's. As long as he holds that reflex block for the engage, should be all right.
Oh wow, look at him just attacking Admiral. He's stacking up the Bonesaw, he's stacking up the damage. Atlas does come out, but maybe they can turn it. Kha'Zix takes a lot of damage. Prime directive onto Caps. There's the fountain. They knock Caps against the wall. No termination protocol for the extra Deus, but Alpharox is going to find the lands. A Bolt tries to knock it into Caps. Caps, though, in the middle of nowhere, will find a return with a Hellfire Brew, but it's a 2-for-1 in favor of Pharaoh's Curse. They get onto the board. Not only that, they win the fight.
Taking the time for the Hellfire there, I feel like might have been a little bit more of a mistake, but I'm not entirely convinced that he would have lived through the 3v1 anyways. There will not be an ace to come through, as Bolt is going to survive, but at the same time, finally, a little bit of good luck as they are able to take a turret.
Will they lose their lives? Bolt certainly won't think so.
Maybe I spoke too
going to
soon.
use the movement speed. No, it looks like they're going to at least get Queen away, but unfortunately for Admiral, that's their 6th death in this game. That's a lot of deaths as well, so it's not having the best of games so far. Still, the gold lead is there, 5,000 for Avia Challenger. The Kraken now coming up as well. We'll have to see if they just go immediately for it.
Well, the Kraken to come through, like, if that is going to be a cap, and I'm not entirely convinced that we're going to be going for it yet. I mean, there's 4 turrets left on both sides. We're tied up in that regard, but it's still 4,000 gold, simply because there's 11 kills and a little bit of farm between these guys here on top of things. So this is going to be a very important fight for Pharaoh Curse. If they can't win this, then they're going to be looking at some pretty heavy losses.
Yeah, it's not looking good so far, but they turned around a fight last time. Can they do it again? Admiral, wow, look at the damage from Caps. Here comes the Hellfire Brew as he tanks up the Kraken straight onto Queen. It's Bolts just in the middle of things, and Admiral trying to do the damage, but once
No
more,
ult.
no termination protocol. Caps going back in. That's going to be Admiral going straight back onto Caps. The Fountain comes out, though, to try and keep everyone alive, but it's Caps finding the kill. Eric's trying to get in, but an afterburn just keeps him off Caps, and now Admiral rooted up, has to passage away, but cannot. An ace comes through for Avia Challenger. Look, just so clean, so much coordination on all roles, and the Kraken will be their prize.
I'm a little surprised that we're not using this passage offensively. There's a few things that could actually go very well here. So far, the passages have been used very defensively and typically very late. So it has not worked out for these guys at all. But a passage in will give Admiral like that opportunity to get on top of Caps, especially into that back. And at the same time, if you bring Alfrax into that, like the Lance has to jump to get those impales, right? At the same time, its bolt has to afterburn away and then walk back if you're going to be portaling on top of them. So you can make them kind of spring about like that, but you can also seal those with the bright bulwark. And that's a lot of setup that I feel like we're not using here from Pharaoh's Curse.
Yeah, now it looks like Queen Pharaoh going to lose her life, and then its bolt knocks Alfrax against the wall. He goes down very shortly to Caps. Admiral last man alive, but good Giffian Swarm means Prime Directive will do no damage. Caps is just baiting out the engagers. A triple kill for Caps, 13, 1, and 4. And the ace as well. That's going to be game 1 of this series, going the way of Avia Challenger. Just looks so clean forecourt. Jester, I don't know what Pharaoh's Curse can change up in the second game to really do much against Avia Challenger.
Well, it's 0 and 2 for alphas today on stream, so that's definitely something that we might want to look at. Don't go Sky is my next piece of advice, because that has not had good historical benefits on this side of the ocean here either, Mr. Dowsey. But it just, again, it felt, I know that this is losers bracket, I know that this is elimination, yeah, there's a lot of high tension, but Admiral early on just kept poking out way too far, and I felt like that was just the continual theme of the fight. The communication, the cohesion wasn't really there. These guys need to tighten up their gameplay a bit, and they did have some kills there too. They had a nice moment of redemption, but need to definitely tighten up a little bit here.
Yeah, no, I think they will. Like Forecourt said, Blueberries bringing back into this. This is the losers bracket. Unfortunately for Pharaoh's Curse, they are one game away from potentially being eliminated from Split 2 of the Challenger Series.
Yeah, well, absolutely true, and absolutely a scenario you don't want to face at day number 1 where you can already be eliminated. And that being said, we are about to kick off draft number 2, and of course something has to change. Forecourt raised a couple of valid points, what you can do and what you should never do, and I absolutely agree with those. However, I think that this series is not done yet, so I have a little feeling that this goes into a third game for whatever reason. Let's put it just like that, and we are about to start the draft in a second. While we do this, quick announcement that we still have the 9,000 eyes giveaway. Make sure to type in !giveaway into the chat, and then you will get the link. You will be redirected to the giveaway page. And we also still have going on the Elgato HD60S giveaway. We are going to give that one away at the end of the Split 2, 2 lucky winners. Coming into this next game, Dowsey, do you think there is this train has departed for Pharaoh or Curse, or do you think, well, I still believe somehow in them?
They have to change everything about their gameplay.
Yeah.
So they're doing it completely wrong. Is that what you're saying?
Pardon?
They're doing it completely wrong.
Well, they're not playing competitively enough against AV Challenger. Like, it's not that they're playing everything wrong. Like, don't get me wrong, these are obviously fine players, possibly top percentile of Europe, but at the same time, they're being outclassed currently in their game style, and they're just not quite having the same coordination. So perhaps a more simpler composition comes out, something that they can execute a little bit easier, fall onto comfort picks. Who knows what their comfort picks are, but something different needs to happen if they're gonna have a chance.
Well, Let's see. Adagio is being given away. Lyra on their side, which is a solid start of the draft, if we would just put it like this here for both teams. But of course, it is now where I want to like come back to the conversation with you, Dalsy. What composition, excuse me, to build around those two heroes, you know, which are so strong in the meta 2.3 here. Ringo being picked up from Pharaoh Curse here, together with that Lyra, and let's see what they're building around Adagio here.
It's going to be very interesting. If that's a... Okay, that makes more sense. So this should be
Sky.
a Crystal Power Sky and a Weapon Power Black Feather. Weapon Power Black Feather has fantastic synergy with Adagio. You buff up the Black Feather, he goes in and he just blows up everything. But you can kind of see what Pharaoh are doing. They've got the pedal to try and counter the Sky. The Munions will eat up a lot of damage. Sure, that is a lot of damage of Alpha Rocks being stolen away, but they are switching Admiral into the lane. So they're changing up the way that they're going to play this game, changing up the roles. Perhaps Admiral being on a carry position may be enough to be more comfortable going into this game.
Well, we have to find out. I think in 20 minutes we know more if Avia Challenger are going to move to day number 2 here, which will be happening tomorrow, starting the same time, 6 p.m. CEST it is. But first of all, they have a game number 2 to deal with Pharaoh or Curse. Of course, they don't want to get eliminated. It is all yours, gentlemen. Forecourt Jester and Dalsy.
Thank you very much. This series, the first loser bracket game that we're witnessing of Split 2 Challenger Series, and unfortunately for Pharaohs, they lose this game, they will be eliminated from the Challenger Series. So a lot on the line for them to try and get the equalizer match.
Yeah, nobody wants that. Absolutely not. Nobody really wants to go out day 1 of the tournament, you know, but Avia definitely doing way better work in their games. They felt much more calm, collected. They weren't rushing into things. They were letting a lot of gold build up. They were letting their farm get there, but Caps up in lane really just pushing out Admiral. And that's a change that we've actually made here from Pharaoh Curse. Pharaoh Curse actually has Admiral in lane this time.
Yeah, and it isn't going to be a CP Sky, it's going to be a Weapon Power Sky. A little bit more. Well, no, definitely. Its bolt has a crystal bit in its inventory,
Maybe.
which almost certainly says that its bolt will be going CP Black Feather. And Weapon Power Sky, I think, has had a little bit more success than its Crystal Power alternative. We've definitely seen a couple of wins in the VG8 with it. Have to see what kind of build Caps prioritizes, though, here on 2.3.
Well, the big thing will be, again, the on point, right? You land the on point, you can really make some nice trades. If you miss it, well, we're in a bit more of a tight spot. But I also think that at the same time, the last pick pedal kind of forced the hand here from Avia. If they did go into that Crystal Sky, which has a pretty abysmal record right now, then absolutely it's just the interference plays by the little Munions would just negate so much damage from Cap.
Can see that being a case. Unfortunately though, Alprox in trouble as all 3 of Avia look for the kill. Who will it go to? It's gonna be Bolt with the first blood coming on through, and that was a lot of forced aggression. Queen nowhere near to support. Alprox now playing in the jungle, but Alprox going to come back into the game. 4 crystal bits in inventory, 3 health pots ready for anything.
It was a nice rotation for sure. Avia getting that first blood is going to actually start soaring ahead in gold just a bit, and Admiral looks like perhaps nope. I thought maybe there was going to be a rotate.
Krasix is here, I don't think, and that's a lot of damage that can be traded on back immediately to Alprox. It does look like Pharaoh Curse. They want to try and rotate down to cut them off, but well, the ports have already gone through. They're base already.
They were way too indecisive. Way too indecisive. Like, Admiral, I don't even think really left this bush area. Queen made it at least to the second bush, but Alpharox 2v1 like that, I mean, that could have absolutely been the second kill, as we know that Pharaoh was not rotating to do it. Caps, you know, likely reporting saying, hey, they're gone. And that's why we saw those backs come through. But at the same time, again, like, Pharaoh Curse just not really showing us some great movement here.
No, not quite yet. We'll hopefully get that changed up later on. Important match, of course, for them. as they currently face a bit of relegation in this second split of the Challenger Series. Well, I say relegation, it's just elimination. There's nothing to be relegated to.
Relegated to not playing.
Right. Not showing up tomorrow. Sad.
Yeah, maybe. All right, so Alpharox has gone kind of early aggression. I'm not entirely too sure if that will work. He has 4 crystal bits to his name.
Yeah, looking for a bit of damage, essentially. You kind of see this from people who can abuse just straight damage. Try and just get the crystal bits, tier 1. Lots of damage though onto Admiral from the forward barrage, but you got a Lyra on your team, so you can heal it up with a couple of rotations of the Imperial Sigil as long as you don't take it all again. Oh, and he does, and its Bolt will find the kill. Alpharox looking to trade on in. Caps though diving forward onto Alpharox. Can he get the last hit? No, he has to run. The missile from Lyra though connects. Queen able to snipe that one away, and a 2-for-1 goes in favor of Pharaoh's Curse.
All right, that's a bit better right there. Alpharox really happy that the crystals were able to do some good work on that one. Didn't have level 6 though, no combustion. That could have actually just blown that fight right open, but at the same time, nobody has the level 6 either. So he upgrades to the crystal, going to be coming back here in a bit. We did put a lot of the eggs in the kill the Ringo basket, so Bolt, down low. Caps was overextended at that point in order to make it happen, but a 1-for-1 or 2-for-2 trade, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of farms still going to be going the way here at Caps, and he is maintaining that last hit. Admiral has not really been afforded any aggression up here.
Yeah, currently just being able to farm away, but he's behind in CS, 20 CS, down a level, down a life. Avia putting pressure on, I guess, in other areas of their play. That's going to be Caps though, heading on back to base. Has enough gold to finish off that Sorrow Blade first item. And Pharaoh, they've made the rotation into lane. Will they go deep is the question. No, they're just going to fall back here. Alpharox not really finding anything for the time, but there's not much to take on the map at the moment. So, taking control of these side pushes, clearing out the vision, and even looking for a bit of damage onto the turret definitely won't go too wrong for them. As long as they don't get caught in the gauge they don't want, or into the Imperial Sigil, they can just burst away at speed if needs be. Currently Avia just currently chilling out. It looks like they want to fight though, for here comes its bolts. The right bullet does go down to prevent any aggression, and Alpharox currently just sitting so far back at the moment.
They're really itching. They're really itching. Like Alpharox has that first item spike. Admiral has the cash for it, but doesn't exactly have the opportunity to go get that Sorrow Blade. But Caps coming back with a Sorrow Blade might be enough to dissuade them, because there's no longer that imbalance of power. Like Alpharox and that Frostburn, they catch somebody there in about the middle. Yeah, I don't think they're running away, not between him and Admiral. But now that Caps is back with the tier 3, yeah, they will melt away from this one. First item Bolt should not be too far down the line here. Like, we're starting to kind of climb up in minutes, and usually you would have seen something picked up by now.
Yeah, certainly would have. You would assume, but gold's there, so it's kind of like any moment now we should be seeing that one coming forward. I like the patience from Avia. They're not really going for anything that they don't feel they need to. They're looking to just scale up their individual heroes and potentially force Pharaoh into making bad rotations, bad moves. They, have already fallen victim, I guess, this game to a forced team fight that just didn't work out for them.
And when it comes to the gold, you can see that, again, like Slow and Steady have been winning the race here as well. Avia just maintaining about 1,000 lead. A lot of that is just the last hits here in the lane. Like Caps has just been doing real good against Admiral. About a 10 lead for a while now.
Its bolts though into lane. Alpha's going to show their face for spontaneous combustion. May just find a kill into its bolts. Heal comes forward, but there is a good block from the Rose offensive, and they just go straight on to Alpharox. Baited on in, the burst will lock Queen down. For how long is the question, because she has the portal, and there it is, to go straight on through. Avia find one kill through I guess, almost baiting Bolts' health bar towards the end of that skirmish. Will they be able to get the gold miner for it though?
I was curious if Bolt was really not going to be doing any kind of defenses on that, but he saw the Hellfire coming through. He was able to block it out, and that was just too deep for Alpharox. Like, he threw everything trying to kill out that Black Feather, but with an immense gold payout to go through, Admiral's making a great decision of pushing up against the turret. I'm just not entirely sure he has the damage to quite get it.
The problem, Queen's come in to save him, but he's not going to be saved now. Queen loses their life, and they don't get the turret. That should have just been Admiral committing hard to finish the turret. Queen porting, or even just sitting in lane, getting ready for this incoming push from Avia. A good attempt at some macro play to counter the gold miner. It just wasn't well executed. Now Alpharox comes in to try and protect the turret, but Alpharox going to go down very low. Has to use the spontaneous combustion to heal up. Turret destroyed, gold running away at the moment. 3,000 here for Avia after some, poor mistakes from Pharaoh's curse.
And they're not even going to catch either of them as they port back. We had a flare thrown out and saw Caps. He gets home. Caps very likely to be getting that breaking point now. Should have the cash. There we go. Definitely has the cash. Picks up the breaking point. On top of this, very likely we're going to see a monocle. From there, who knows? But Bolts has actually gone, not from an aftershock, but he himself has that shatter glass. And, well, as long as he keeps landing the on hits, I think that's good enough for now. Just kind of buys the time for Caps to scale up a little bit more. But we're going to have to find a second damage item from him, and then probably an Atlas on top of that.
Yeah, at the moment, it's... We'll have to find more. Like, Caps is doing work on this guy, and I'm not sure I can say the same for Admiral just yet. There's a 20 CS deficit. Alpharox certainly having a bit more of an impact in this jungle position than Admiral did in the previous game, but is currently caught out and doesn't have a path ahead to survive. Queen, now the next target, has the passage available and trying to heal through it all. Admiral doing damage, but going to go very low as Caps goes forward, but takes a turret shot. Ooh, it's going to be him falling, I think. No, it's on it's Bolts, never mind. This could just be an ace. Maybe not, as that's going to be Queen. Under the turret. Caps is fine for now. We'll find not an ace because Alpharox does respawn. Has to run away. This pedal could charge forward, but nope. Alpharox decides, I'm going back to base. We've got 1,000 gold to spend, and Caps would be dumb if he stuck around.
Some really nice juggling going on there from the turret aggro. At the same time, like, as soon as you saw that Surrey strike forward, Admiral really needed to just turn around and shoot her in the face, but did not have the reaction time, or just didn't really expect it at the same time. So Caps lives through it all. He did get the 3. Wasn't the ace, as he said, but hey, the pressure is on top of Pharaoh Curse again. 8 in 3 is a better spot than they were here in game number 1, but Alpharox with 2 damage items just... It feels like a lot of this is resting on top of him. Like, Admiral, I'm really hoping he's there. Just kind of sitting around drunk right now. But with his 2 items, he just doesn't seem to be delivering as you would expect here from a Ringo. So it's up to Alpharox, and just not seeing a lot of deliverables here.
Yeah. I think Pharaoh's Curse, they appear to be a little bit more with it this game. Falco, I think that's a fair statement. However, is just being a little bit more with it enough to survive, because they're still struggling against Avia Challenger right now, and it's not somewhere you want to be. Another gold payout goes out towards Avia Collected, pushing the gold lead up to 5,000 as we stand, and things could just get spicy. War Treads on to Krasix now. That's a lot of speed that can be brought into a fight if they want it.
Yeah, Bolt and Caps will definitely benefit from that as well. The target lock stutter stepping is always just fun to watch when it comes to a Sky, but it also keeps it very mobile. The target locks allows for the Surrey strike. Like, everything that you use in a weapon Sky is just to reposition so you can just continue auto attacking, right? You stun him up, you auto attack, you reposition, you auto attack, you use that movement speed and the stutter step. It's definitely a favorite of mine. Dienzio, I think, was the very first weapon Sky that I ever saw dominate with it, but that was an older time now, Dowsy.
It's all starting last split, but we'll bring up some memories later because Admiral's trying to survive. It's Bolt, sorry, goes in, finds the kill. and is able to get out alive as well. Now they flip the tables. Now it's going to be burst from Krasix to try and lock them down, and Queen will be locked down. But the Treant will find a route. Wow, look at Caps just diving all over the place. You can't stop her. The Queen just dancing, and that's the double kill coming on over for Caps. And Ace finally comes forward for Avia. They found triples, but no aces, and that's going to be a turret for sure.
Oh, Bolt putting that sword through her chest at the end. That on point hits so hard when you're stacked up like that. I mean, we had multiple stacks on top of that broken myth, and with the infusion, with the shatter glass. I mean, Admiral, are you going to die during my soliloquy here? Like, jeez, the damage output is just absolutely insane. A bigger thing, though, is that Krasix didn't die. He had so much damage piled on top of him. He had even that last hit from Queen all queued up, and he gets the heal off milliseconds before it lands on top of him. So there was nothing given by Avia right there. They just took everything and gave nothing back.
Now, this could just be time to finish it all out. You know, they've got themselves some infusions now. They're holding Pharaoh's curse at bay, looking to go forward, and there's the wall treads pop. Caps just diving straight on in, and Bolt were able to find the kill. Afarox now in trouble as the death from above going to separate Queen and Afarox. Afarox trampolines to safety for now, but how safe are you? Bolt going to find Queen, and that just leaves Afarox left to try and get out alive. Caps using the minions to get forward the series strike towards its bolts. Afarox to him and go taken down with an on point. The damage from that ability, insane, like you mentioned. Another ace, and now the choke point turret under fire.
Yeah, between Caps and the weapon and his really insane farming, like for 15 minutes, almost 150 CS. That's pretty mint right there. But at the same time, Bolts has really come into his own there as well. He's just skewering people left and right with that on point, not missing a lot of these shots, which is again a big prerequisite to be playing this Crystal Feather. So what's his last item going to be? It's going to be into the Aegis. Does not really look like they're too concerned about building into a double Atlas. Krasix has his there, but if Bolts was able to jump on top of Admiral, for example, the Atlas is a very big tool for that. But they're not that worried.
No, at the moment they're not. They're just happy to keep going in like this. Caps dives straight on into the fight. Takes a lot of damage as a return. Here comes the Hellfire Brew onto Caps. He is burning, but he will be able to block it. Admiral goes down. Alpharox now in trouble, but Caps did go through the portal, so will be a bit of a delayed death at least for Alpharox. In fact, it will just go down in the end. Queen, last man standing, as the Crystal Sentry waddles back on home towards work, but he's going to be met with a second death. One more life remaining. The Kraken, she spawned. Looks like Avia looking like they want to take it. Oh no, Caps, wow. He's just going back in. It's like, you know what? Death from above. This is easy peasy. Just gonna sort of step my way to victory. There it is. Queen goes down and Caps gets another kill.
16 stacks, man, has himself, probably that double monocle now in the bag. So not a bad way to go. Yeah, picks up that kill. Styles gets some really cool swag out of it. 17 and 3 Cole. It's almost 10,000 gold between him here, Dowsy. It's just, again, very cool, calm, collected kind of play here from Avia, where at the same time Pharaoh's curse is almost just making a mess of their shot calling. They just never really seem to be on the same point. They're never hitting the same targets, and 5 kills in 2 games so far? It's really showing how much Avia has really prepared for this.
Yeah, they don't want to go home today. Today is not the day that they go home in this Challenger Series. They want to progress towards tomorrow's games. They want to get deeper into the VGL Challenger Series here in Europe, the Split 2. Unfortunately though, Pharaoh facing their last chance as Sentry loses its last life. It could just be the last life of everyone, as Pharaoh trying to take the Kraken down. Just on to the main crystal turrets, and Afarox, he's getting just chunked on out. Avia looking to finish this one off as they focus all turrets. Queen caught in the death from above, and that is a double kill going Caps' way. That just leaves Admiral all by himself, and Avia want to do the damage, do the burst. Turret's gone down. Krasix with the burst of judgment for the style points, and that will be Avia progressing to the next round. We say goodbye to Pharaoh's curse.
4 red items for the Sky. It's been a while since I've seen a good, successful weapon Sky, but Caps in that lane just kind of bullying around Admiral. Pretty poor showing, unfortunately, for the team, as Admiral, I don't think, got a single kill in both games, but the same time, it's just look at the cash, like Caps, Krasix, like everybody really shining out well here. So Avia will continue. We'll see if they can continue on through the elimination. We'll see them again, like tomorrow, next week, etc. But yeah, that's it for Pharaoh's curse. Curse is that they don't get to go forward.
Well, they are not, certainly, and Avia Challenger, congratulations, surviving day number 1. At least, I mean, of course, the loser games, they're like so full of excitement and tension and everything. So yeah, they are moving forward in the loser bracket today, number 2. Tomorrow we will have winner bracket round number 2 of both groups, and then we will continue with 2 group matches from the loser bracket. So it's getting only much more exciting, and yeah, this is actually already it for day number 1 on the VGL Challenger series. If you're excited about all the outcomes, the brackets, the teams, and so forth, make sure to check out vaingloryleague.com. There you can find all information and also tomorrow's schedule. But we will start tomorrow, same time, 6 p.m. CET. That time, I will be replaced by Xcoundrel, who, Dalsey, well, hopefully does not bring rain, or did bring rain to Europe. Did he already bring rain or bad weather to the UK?
Oh, we still got sunny sunsets here in Manchester, but tomorrow's a new day, Blueberry. We'll have to see.
All right. I'm really excited. So yeah, that being said, thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you very much, Forecourt Jester. And thank you very much, Dalsey, for spending this evening with us for the first match day of split number 1 of this spring season. It is going very fast. Sorry?
Split 2.
Oh, did I say 1? Oh no, thank you very much. If I didn't have you, thanks a lot. Split 2, of course, it's going very, very fast now towards the end of the season, which will be there in 3 weeks, and then it is London time, May 19th to 21st. This is going to happen at the O2. We will play the first Western Unified Live Championships. I'm really excited with the best 12 teams from North America and Europe. I will be there. I hope some viewers are already from that area. Tickets are right now on sale, so make sure to grab yours. And yeah, tomorrow, same time, and it will be no one else than Xcoundrel. My name is Blueberries. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.